At number 10, Amanda Lepore. American model and socialite Amanda Lepore is one person who isn't shy at all about the plastic surgeries that she's had. The transgender model, performer, and now author, who made a name for herself in Hollywood just by being herself, altered a lot of her body over the years, and she's even claimed to have the most expensive body on earth due to all of her surgeries. She's written and talked about all of the procedures she's had done, and it's quite a long list. She's had a nose job, her hairline lowered, her eyebrows lifted, double eyelid surgery, cheekbone, lip and breast augmentation, gender confirmation surgery, hormones, and she even had her ribs broken and reshaped to alter the size of her waist. She's taken her body to the limit and back again. There came a moment where she really overdid one of her procedures and got seriously botched. The drastic procedure that led her to getting botched was getting silicone lip injections, because she said that since she had gotten them done about 20 times and went a little overboard, she had to get them reduced because they just got way too big. A lot of people think that she's botched more than just her lips because of how drastic and plastic her looks are, but they're so out there that I think it's almost normal because that's just who she is, and if she's happy with it, then there's nothing left to say. At number 9, Zac Efron. Now this one isn't exactly a confirmed case of botched plastic surgery, but it sure is causing a lot of commotion because people think it might be. A lot of people have been throwing around a lot of speculation and concern regarding Zac Efron and his appearance. Zac recently showed up in a video about Earth Day looking pretty swollen, and a lot of people think that is the result of a plastic surgery gone wrong. In the video, the lower half of his face was looking very puffy, almost like he had gotten a lot of Botox done or some other kind of procedure, and a lot of people are super concerned that Zac might have taken his looks too far. According to one celebrity plastic surgeon, they think that it looks like Zac may have gotten fillers to reshape his jawline, or that he had actually gone under the knife and that there was some residual swelling going on. If that's the case, then we don't know if this puffy look is here to stay or not. It's all just a very sudden change that a lot of people weren't expecting, and a lot of people are just looking for answers. Now before I carry on with the list, I'd like to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also check out my gaming channel Viper Girl if you're interested in enjoying some cool gameplay content, and subscribe while you're there. At number 8, Priscilla Caputo. Priscilla Caputo rose to fame for being botched, so I feel like she's perfect for this list. Back in the day, Priscilla was an aspiring model, but her modeling career was very short-lived because she took her looks too far and got botched, stopping her career dead in its tracks. She was left an internet laughingstock, gaining fame because she had gone too far with her appearance, and now she's an advocate against getting plastic surgery. Priscilla explained that her boyfriend, who was a plastic surgeon, kept giving her lip fillers, and soon she became addicted and couldn't stop. Her lips became too big, and because of her appearance, her modeling career tanked. After her photos were circulated online, she became an internet laughingstock, and she couldn't go back and fix her lips because she had injected so much into them that she permanently stretched them out, and the damage was just too much to repair. In a way, her modeling career turned her into an example of what not to do when getting injections. At number 7, Donatella Versace. Even though she's the head of the Versace company, Donatella Versace's appearance has her looking a little worse for wear, as she's become an example of what happens when getting plastic surgery makes you look worse rather than better. Because of the amount of procedures Donatella has received over the years, many people have said that she's been botched. She's been criticized a lot for her heavy plastic surgery and Botox use, with some people even making comparison diagrams of her look from back in '97 when she took over the Versace company after the death of her brother to now in 2021. Some say that because of all the work she's had done in an attempt to make her look younger, these procedures have made her appearance worse because the Botox and fillers she received over the years has damaged her skin. Some plastic surgeons have commented on Donatella's appearance, saying that as a result of all the fillers, nips, and tucks, her skin's elasticity has broken, leading her to looking older. Because of this, she'd want to continue getting Botox, and so the cycle continues. The more work she has done, the worse her skin gets, and as a result, it leads her to looking more and more botched. At number 6, Carrot Top. American comedian Carrot Top is pretty well known for his signature looks. With his bright orange hair and crazy expressions, no one can mistake him, that's for sure. However, over the years, there's been speculation that the comedian has undergone a few cosmetic surgeries that have him looking a little different, and some say that he's been botched. Though he's denied ever having received plastic surgery and mostly credits his looks to his gym habits, there are others out there who believe that there's something a little artificial that the comedian has been hiding from his fans. It's believed that the comedian has received an eyebrow lift, Botox injections, lip filler, and laser peels, which many people see as the reason that his freckles are less evident. Because of the fillers and lifts, a lot of people think that his face has been left looking a little too stiff and fake, leading fans to label him as botched. But what do you guys think? Is he botched or not? At number 5, Jennifer Grey. Imagine watching your career tank after getting plastic surgery. Well, that's what happened with actress Jennifer Grey, as getting a nose job was one of the worst mistakes of her career. Jennifer Grey became super well known after her role in Dirty Dancing, but after her rhinoplasty, things went south. She wasn't necessarily botched from the surgery itself, as everything went according to plan, but maybe things just went a little too well. After getting surgery, her nose looked very different to how it looked before, and it completely changed her face. As a result, Jennifer found herself struggling to book roles and getting less and less work. Everyone knew her for her face, but since it changed, she became almost unrecognizable, and that wasn't good for her career. When speaking out about the procedure, she called it the quote, nose job from hell, because it pretty much just botched her career. She thought that altering her nose would make things better for her, but instead it made things worse. At number 4, Courteney Cox. Courteney Cox, best known for her iconic role as Monica Geller on Friends, became the unfortunate victim of botched Botox, and since then, the actress has sworn off any kind of cosmetic procedures. Courteney has said in interviews that some doctors started suggesting that she gets fillers here and there, and after one too many pokes, she was left looking more plastic than human and totally botched. Courteney was led down a dark path of cosmetic alterations to make herself look more youthful, but in the end, the actress said that these procedures just led her to feeling more and more unhappy with her appearance. It was a vicious cycle. The fillers got so intense that Courteney eventually said enough is enough and got all of the fillers in her face dissolved. Because she was left looking so unlike herself after getting botched, Courteney says that she now prefers to be all natural, embracing her natural beauty. The takeaway from this is to only trust your own opinions and judgments and to not listen to other people's opinions on how you should look. At number 3, Jocelyn Wildenstein. When you look up the most drastic celebrity appearances, a photo of Jocelyn Wildenstein will no doubt show up in your search. Her looks are a prime example of someone taking plastic surgery way too far. Though she was a model back in the day, too much plastic surgery has altered her appearance forever to the point where she's mostly plastic and mostly botched. Jocelyn apparently started changing her appearance to make her husband happy, and she even modeled her look after big cats because her late husband was a big cat lover. She reportedly kept a lynx as a pet and said that because she thought the big cat's eyes were so perfect, she wanted to look just like it. Unfortunately, she went too far with her look. Over the years, she's gotten surgery on her eyes to make them look more cat-like, as well as receiving brow and facelifts, injections, implants, and more. She's left looking nothing like she did before all the surgery, with her entire face being remade into something completely new and unnatural. Even though her appearance is quite drastic, Jocelyn has said that she's not done altering her looks, but honestly, I don't know if it can get any more botched. But if it works for her, then I guess that's what matters. At number 2, Farrah Abraham. Teen Mom star Farrah Abraham has been under the knife a number of times, but it just takes that one horrible moment to make you rethink all of your plastic surgery choices. You might have seen the infamous photo of Farrah Abraham's botched lip procedure, but let me tell you the story of how she got into that mess. In 2015, the reality star opened up about how she had a negative experience when she went under the knife for an experimental lip implant procedure. Farrah said that when she got the procedure done, she knew very quickly that something was wrong when the anesthesia just wasn't working for her. She didn't do much about that, but after the procedure was done and the implant was put in, that's when things started to take a turn for the worse. Turns out Farrah had an intense reaction to something during the procedure that caused her lip to swell up like crazy, leading to those crazy pictures. Luckily, she was able to get things sorted out and her lip went back to normal, but she did say that this was a really scary experience. And finally, at number 1, Tara Reid. Hollywood's it girl Tara Reid was making it big in the industry. That is until she got a botched plastic surgery that derailed her career. In 2004, Tara wanted to get some work done to her body and she received a few surgeries. She got breast implants and underwent a procedure called liposculpting where things went horribly wrong. After these procedures, she was left disfigured, describing some of the aftermath saying, quote, "My stomach became the mostly ripply, bulgy thing. I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." End quote. Things got even worse for her after a wardrobe malfunction at Diddy's 35th birthday in 2004 exposed her botched body to the world. A lot of people online ended up body shaming the actress, making the situation so much harder to deal with. Even though she was able to correct the mistakes done to her appearance 2 years later, the damage was already done to her public image and career, showing us that not only was her body botched, but her career as well.
Coming at number 10, we have Lea Michele. Back in December, Lea Michele started to go trending on Twitter after the internet started to troll her for her new chiseled facial appearance. When the funny girl actress posted a selfie comparing herself to Lucia, the beautiful working girl on The White Lotus, the internet was then quick to notice her resemblance to another trending character, which is a girl who has undergone buccal fat removal. The cosmetic procedure involved surgically removing fat between the cheekbones and the jawbones via incisions inside the mouth to highlight one's facial bone structure. While people have been doing the surgery for decades, it's currently all the rage with young celebrities and people on TikTok. It takes a normal looking girl and makes them look almost skeletal, which is pretty damaging to a younger person's image. While the surgery isn't everybody's cup of tea, I still don't understand why Hollywood girlies aren't trying to get rid of it and why they keep opting to do it, and it kinda made Lea Michele look more scary than her Rachel Berry days on Glee. Number 9, Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian has been pretty open about her physical transformation, and unlike her other sisters, she claimed that she has undergone plastic surgery more than once in her life. While the reality TV star isn't too outspoken when it comes to her past procedures, she has opened up once before about the reason behind her choice to undergo the knife. In a reunion episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Khloe revealed that she opted for a few cosmetic alterations by saying, "For me, everyone says, oh my gosh, she had a third face transplant, but I've had one nose job." Aside from her nose job, the Good American founder has also revealed she has done injections, but not really Botox because she responded horribly Botox. Khloe, like Kylie, has also gotten so much filler done at one point. She even went back 3 times to get it dissolved, but it still feels like the effects are still there. But for a while, the star did look a little scary with all that filler. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Coming at number 8, we have Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley was a legendary beauty, but when she underwent plastic surgery in the past, it left her with some unfortunate side effects. It would force her to come out and claim that she unknowingly had industrial low-grade silicone injected into her face by a doctor who wasn't even licensed to practice medicine in the United States. Priscilla was one of many victims who fell into the hands of Dr. Daniel Serranoez. In 2008, a rep of the actress would share that an investigation which uncovered his misconduct ultimately led to his imprisonment. Miss Presley dealt with this matter years ago, and eventually everything is now well. Serrano, who was not licensed to practice medicine, would find himself being deported back to Argentina after serving 18 months in federal prison, after some of his injections caused lumps, paralysis, and holes in his client's face. But the work he did to Priscilla definitely had her wishing that she never underwent the surgery, and she never even tried to have it repaired as she was kind of scared it would do more harm than good. Number 7, Janice Dickinson. It's clear that Hollywood's obsession with plastic surgery is starting to get really scary, and if you look what happened to Janice Dickinson after she made an attempt to keep her youthful appearance, people would even start to confuse her with Caitlyn Jenner. After she had a botched procedure done, even according to celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Anthony Yoon, Janice had every plastic surgery procedure there is. And that's not really hard to believe, as once the stunning model now looks like she is pure plastic. And I've seen her undergo some treatments on reality TV. Dr. Yoon would then jokingly add, "I believe she's undergone pretty much every facial plastic surgery there is, including a facelift, eye lift, lip injections, Botox, fat injections, a brow lift, and she's probably single-handedly paid for her plastic surgeon's house." Despite Janice going under the knife numerous times, Yoon said, while Janice doesn't look a whole lot like herself, she's holding up pretty well, and she's had quite a bit of help. In 2014, Janice would even admit when she was 32, or in the Jurassic era, that's when she had her first procedure done, and it included work to her chest, a tummy tuck, facelift, and Botox. At number 6, we have Linda Evangelista. The OG supermodel hasn't been seen in public for a while now, and in September 23rd, 2021, she would explain why. Linda revealed that she underwent cool sculpting, which she claims left her looking unrecognizable, as it allegedly caused her fat cells in her face to multiply, and she would say, "To my followers who have wondered why I have not been working while my peers' careers have been thriving, the reason is that I was brutally disfigured by a procedure which did the opposite of what it promised." She then went on to talk about the procedure's rare but serious side effects, and she said, "Not only did it destroy my livelihood, but it sent me into a cycle of depression, profound sadness, and lowest depths of self-loathing. In the process, I have become reclusive, and I'm so tired of living this way. I would like to walk out my door with my head held high despite not looking like myself any longer." However, if you look at photos from Linda from 2005 to now, before her procedure disfigured her famous face, the girl was stunning. And if you were looking to get plastic surgery done in the future, let this be a warning and just a reminder that you're beautiful just the way you look. Number 5, Mickey Rourke. Since the beginning of his career, Mickey Rourke has captured the news headlines every now and then, and one of the most talked about things about him is his face. Today, everyone knows Mickey to be an actor of repute who has starred in many successful movies over the years, but it is essential to understand that acting was not Mickey's first love, as he's a man who was in love with boxing, and he eventually became a professional boxer. And he did pretty well because he was unbeaten in all his fights, as he won and drew others. However, he endured a lot of injuries to his face, and some of these injuries were so severe that they threatened to ruin his good looks, so he opted to have cosmetic surgery to fix his face. However, the doctors he met to help him fix his face just ended up ruining it. His face today is now very different from what his fans had known it to be, and anytime he steps into the public, paparazzi just swarms his face. While the star has undergone different cosmetic surgeries to correct his face, it just keeps changing and it keeps renewing the public's interest. Number 4, Joan Rivers. Comedian Joan Rivers was famous for constantly changing her face. When the reality TV star passed away at the age of 81, her daughter Melissa would write a memoir, The Book of Joan, tales of mirth, mischief, and manipulation, as a tribute to her mother. In it, Melissa would reveal that Joan had a staggering 348 cosmetic operations over her life, and she was never happy with the way she looked, which fed into her sense of being less than. Joan Rivers' tragic passing was caused after she had complications following her surgery, after the comedian never recovered from a loss of oxygen to her brain during surgery. Her daughter would then be able to sue the clinic for malpractice. It would be noted that Joan went into the hospital after she scheduled an EGD. However, reports then showed another procedure, a nasolaryngoscopy, which was performed twice by an ENT doctor not privileged to perform that procedure at Yorkville, and Rivers was never informed or consented to that procedure. Number 3, Donatella Versace. Donatella Versace's designs for Versace may have sparked thousands of copycats, but there is no danger of a woman following suit when it comes to Donatella Versace's new look. 30 years ago, the fashion guru had naturally full lips and smooth skin, but today her face is striking for all the wrong reasons, as she has now turned herself into a real-life human waxwork doll after she overdid Botox and added too much filler to her cheeks and lips. Not to mention, the businesswoman has also had a facelift and eyes and brow lift. And if you look at her face, you can tell that her eyelids are like a little droopy because she had some bad Botox, and that's why they look droopy. It's also been said that she looks like she may have had some filler added to her earlobes, as they looked very stretched. Dr. David Rappaport has also provided a timeline of Donatella's alleged procedures, where he would point out that it seems clear that the designer has had a facelift, as she has a scar that you can see on her temple areas, and she has a fine linear scar from it. He would also note that her hairline has been lifted too high and it shouldn't end that high above her ears, but this could also indicate that she's gone under the knife for more than one procedure. Number 2. Carrot Top. Comedian king of props Scott Carrot Top Thompson has had to deal with a lot of plastic surgery rumors and before and after surgery photos, but despite the hundreds of sources saying he underwent the knife to change his looks, the comedian says he hasn't had work done on him, but it's clearly just a lie. So Carrot Top is one of these most successful comedians from the late 90s and 2000s. Aside from comedy, one of the most talked about topics whenever Carrot Top is brought up is about his looks, and people start to debate whether the star has had plastic surgery done or not. Although various sources have tried exploring his transformation to put an answer to the question, the comedian still continues to deny all the rumors that revolve around him undergoing the knife to change his looks. And to this day, the comedian still has to deal with plastic surgery rumors, as the media has been swamped with before and after photos of the star. Many have even compared his transformation to plastic surgery disasters, and some professionals have even commented on it, such as Dr. Anthony Yoon, who pointed out that the comedian has definitely had laser treatments or chemical peels, and he even commented on Carrot Top's appearance by saying he looks more like a muscle-bound cartoon character. Number 1. Little Kim. Little Kim is undoubtedly one of the brightest, most influential women in hip-hop, yet her legacy remains controversial for one reason or the other. It seems like the star is constantly being thrown in front of the media since the beginning of her career for her ever-changing face. In 2005, Kim would even go on a radio show to explain that she had broken her nose after getting into an altercation with her ex-boyfriend, and she had to get surgery done to fix her nose, and then she would go back to her boyfriend, get hurt again, and it would reel her into a tangle of insecurities and self-loathing. Kim was so tired of lying about her injuries and burying her bruises in makeup that she thought it would be better to get professional work done and wipe those physical markings away once and for all. And then after, she would get more surgeries done by her own choice, as she was facing insecurities after her boyfriends kept cheating on her with European women with long hair.
At number 10, Jennifer Grey. Imagine investing in plastic surgery to look better just to watch your career tank after getting whatever procedure done. Well, that's what happened with actress Jennifer Grey, as getting a nose job was the worst mistake of her career and pretty much ended it. Jennifer Grey became super well known after her role in Dirty Dancing, but after her rhinoplasty, things went south for the actress's career. Her appearance wasn't necessarily botched from the surgery itself, as everything went according to plan, but maybe things went a little too well. After getting the surgery, her nose looked very different to how it looked before, and it completely changed her face. As a result, Jennifer found herself struggling to book roles and getting less and less work. Everyone knew her for her face, but since it had changed, became almost unrecognizable, and that wasn't good for her career. When speaking out about her procedure, she called it the quote, nose job from hell, because it pretty much botched her career. She thought that altering her nose would make things better for her because she would have had what she thought was a better appearance, but instead things just got worse. At number 9, Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox is best known for her iconic role as Monica Geller on Friends. Though she had the looks when on the beloved sitcom, things changed after she got plastic surgery. Courtney became the unfortunate victim of botched Botox, and since then the actress has sworn off any kind of cosmetic procedures. Courtney has said in interviews that some doctors started suggesting that she get fillers here and there, and after one too many posts, she was left looking more plastic than human and totally botched. Courtney was led down a dark path of cosmetic alterations to make herself look more youthful, but in the end, the actress said that all these procedures just led her to feeling more and more unhappy with her appearance. It was a vicious cycle for her. The fillers she got became so intense that Courtney eventually said enough is enough and got all the fillers in her face dissolved. Because she was left looking so unlike herself after getting botched, Courtney says that she now prefers to be all natural, embracing her natural beauty. Before we carry on talking about actors and their unfortunate plastic surgery mishaps, why not take a moment to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also consider subscribing to the channel to see more videos like this one. At number 8, Tara Reid. Hollywood's it girl Tara Reid was making it big in the industry at the height of her career, that is until she got a botched plastic surgery that derailed her career completely. In 2004, Tara wanted to get some work done to her body and she received a few surgeries. She got breast implants and underwent a procedure called liposculpting. But this was where things went horribly wrong. After these procedures, she was left disfigured, describing some of the aftermath saying, quote, "My stomach became the most ripply, bulgy thing. I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." End quote. Things got even worse for her public image after a wardrobe malfunction at Diddy's 35th birthday party in 2004 exposed her botched body to the world. A lot of people online ended up body shaming the actress, making the situation so much harder for her to deal with at the time. Even though she was able to correct the mistakes done to her appearance 2 years later, the damage was already done to her public image and career, showing us that not only was her body botched, but her career was as well. At number 7, Dana Delaney. There are a growing number of people out there getting Botox. A lot of young adults are starting to get fillers even though they don't really need to because it's seen as the new trend. Getting injectables seems to be the newest trend, probably because it's one of the least invasive plastic surgery procedures you can receive. But just because it's not a serious surgery doesn't mean there's no risk, and Desperate Housewives actress Dana Delaney can attest to that. Dana opened up about one of the worst procedures she received and one of people's biggest nightmares, that being Dr. Error. In 2003, Dana decided to go in to receive some Botox injections after her dermatologist convinced her to try it out. When she went in for the procedure, things went horribly wrong after the doctor performing the procedure injected the needle into the wrong place in her forehead and actually ended up causing quite a lot of damage. When he injected it into her forehead, the needle ended up striking a nerve. This then created a huge hematoma in her forehead and actually ended up killing the nerve that was struck. Unfortunately for Dana, this mistake was pretty serious because it ended up affecting the muscle in her right eye, which caused her eye to begin to droop down slightly. Dana spoke out about the experience saying, quote, "I noticed it more than anybody else, but I was symmetrical before and now I'm not." End quote. This procedure marked the first and last time she got any kind of plastic surgery done because she didn't want to risk getting botched again. At number 6, Ashley Tisdale. Here's a celebrity whose own body botched their plastic surgery results. Former Disney star Ashley Tisdale is another celebrity who's gone plastic and has experienced health complications as a result of getting work done. When Ashley first got her breast implants, she received the results that she was looking for. Ashley told her fans how before she got them done, she felt really insecure about her body, saying that she felt as though getting this procedure done would help her feel better about herself. Though this augmentation did help boost her confidence for a while, Ashley said that soon there came a time when the implants started to negatively impact her life and her health, saying, quote, "Little by little, I began struggling with minor health issues that were just not adding up. Food sensitivities as well as gut issues that I thought could be caused by my implants." End quote. The actress continued talking about how she made the decision to remove her implants to save herself from her health complications. Even though she walked away from the initial procedure with a good result, her health is really what got botched in the process. At number 5, Mickey Rourke. For a long time, people have made some pretty harsh comments about Mickey Rourke's face. In his early career, he was praised for his looks, but now not so much. A lot of people believe that he doesn't look anything like he used to, and a lot of that has to do with his botched plastic surgery having altered his appearance drastically. Mickey has spoken out about his altered appearance, saying that boxing is really what caused things to go downhill for him. Because he went in for reconstructive surgery from things that had been damaged through boxing, his face has never been the same. Speaking further on this, Mickey said, quote, "Most of it was to mend the mess of my face because of boxing, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together. I had my nose broken twice, I had 5 operations on my nose and 1 on a smashed cheekbone." End quote. If Mickey had gone to someone else for these procedures, maybe things would have been different and he wouldn't have gotten so botched. At number 4, Lara Flynn Boyle. Lara Flynn Boyle was stunning in the 90s when she acted on shows like Twin Peaks and The Practice, but in the early 2000s her look started changing drastically, specifically her lips. Over time, fans started to notice that her face started to look very unnatural, and as a result of her altered appearance, no one wanted to cast her anymore. Boyle commented before her procedures that she was scared of aging as she knew that she would lose work, but her botched procedures are what have actually blacklisted her from the industry. In 2010, Paul S. Nassif told the Daily Mail, quote, "Lara Flynn Boyle appears to have had a rhinoplasty, lip augmentation, Botox, facial fillers, and possibly a brow lift and facelift." End quote. Nassif also said that Lara should refrain from any more procedures. Plastic surgeon Dr. Michael Saulhauser agreed, telling the outlet, quote, "Lara Flynn Boyle, I feel, has gone overboard with the fillers to her cheeks and lips." end quote. At number 3, Jamie Lee Curtis. Now this one actually surprised me a lot because I never actually knew that Jamie Lee Curtis had gone under the knife, but apparently it happened and it wasn't pretty. The actress opened up about a procedure she had received before shooting a movie where she got the fat taken out from underneath her eyes because she said that she was looking puffy. Well, it turns out that this ended up a little botched and her looks weren't too great because when she got to set to start filming the movie, the cameraman actually said that he couldn't shoot her anymore because her face was messed up. Jamie recalled feeling super embarrassed because she had changed her looks too much. She also said that she was unaware of the fact that when you take fat from one area of your body, a quote, comes back in another place. Jamie took this botched experience as a learning moment and never tried a procedure like that again. At number 2, Heidi Montag. Heidi Montag is probably one of the most well-known celebrities for having received botched plastic surgery. In 2010, Heidi took her looks and her body to the limit and underwent 10 procedures in the same day. The procedures she received were neck liposuction, a brow lift, a nose job revision, a chin reduction, getting her ears pinned back, a second breast augmentation, fat injections in her cheek, liposuction in her waist, hip, and inner thighs, Botox in her forehead, and butt implants. So needless to say, there was a lot going on that day. In the aftermath of her dramatic transformation, Heidi opened up about her procedures, her regrets, and what went wrong. She said that her breast augmentation went too far as she made her chest too heavy for the rest of her body, and as if that wasn't bad enough, this long day of surgery took such a huge toll on her body that she actually flatlined for a minute during surgery. Heidi also said that these procedures left her with some pretty bad scarring as well. After all of this work, not only was her appearance botched, but her career was as well, as she ended up losing a lot of work because of this drastic change. And finally, at number 1, Zac Efron. Now this one isn't exactly a confirmed plastic surgery case, but it sure did cause a lot of commotion over the summer. There had been a lot of speculation concerning Zac Efron's supposed new look, as people started saying that Zac got some work done, and by some, I mean a drastic amount. Zac showed up in a video about Earth Day looking pretty different and very swollen. The lower half of his face was looking very puffy, almost like he had gotten a lot of Botox done or some other kind of procedure, and people were super confused by this sudden transformation. The internet started debating whether or not he'd gotten surgery, with some people chalking this all up to Zac simply getting wisdom tooth surgery, using that to explain all the puffiness, but others weren't too convinced. According to one celebrity plastic surgeon, they thought that it looked like Zac may have gotten fillers to reshape his jawline, or that he had actually gone under the knife and that there was some residual swelling going on. It was all just a very sudden change that a lot of people just weren't expecting.
At number 10, Dana Delaney. So many people out there are getting Botox. I actually read an article recently talking about how a lot of young adults are starting to get fillers even though they don't really need to. Getting injectables seems to be the newest trend, probably because it's one of the least invasive plastic surgery procedures that you can receive. But just because it's not a serious surgery doesn't mean there aren't any risks, and Desperate Housewives actress Dana Delaney can tell you all about it. Dana opened up about one of the worst procedures she's received, and one of people's biggest nightmares being doctor error. In 2003, Dana decided to go in and receive some Botox injections after her dermatologist convinced her to try it out. Well, she went in for the procedure and things went horribly wrong when the doctor performing the procedure injected the needle into the wrong place in her forehead and actually caused quite a bit of damage. When he injected it in her forehead, the needle ended up striking a nerve. This then created a huge hematoma, and it actually ended up killing the nerve that was struck. Unfortunately for Dana, this mistake was pretty serious because it ended up affecting the muscle in her right eye, which caused her eye to droop down slightly. Dana spoke out about the experience saying, quote, "I noticed it more than anyone else, but I was symmetrical before and now I'm not," end quote. This procedure marked the first and last time she got any kind of plastic surgery done because she didn't want to risk getting botched again. At number 9, Yolanda Hadid. A lot of people have come out in the past saying that some of the plastic surgery procedures that they've received have had negative effects on their health, and it seems like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Yolanda Hadid has been dealing with similar issues. In the past, Yolanda had been very open about her Lyme disease, and she's also talked about how the implants, fillers, and Botox she had been causing her symptoms to worsen, and how her illness would cause complications with these procedures. In 2015, Yolanda made the decision to have her implants removed after it was discovered that one of them had popped and was actually leaking silicone into her chest cavity. Later on, the reality star also made the decision to have her fillers dissolved as well. When explaining her decision to reverse the cosmetic procedures she had received over the years, she took to her Instagram where she went to caption a selfie saying, quote, "Living in a body free of breast implants, fillers, Botox, extensions, and all the stuff I thought I needed in order to keep up with what society conditioned me to believe what a sexy woman should look like, until all the toxicity of it all almost killed me." In this case, it wasn't a doctor who botched the results of these procedures, but it was Yolanda's own body and health issues who caused the problems. Now, before I carry on with the list, I would like to take a moment to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far. And also, if you're interested in watching Minecraft gameplay, then you should totally check out my gaming channel, Viper Girl. New videos are uploaded every day, so there's always something new and exciting to enjoy. At number 8, Ashley Tisdale. Here's another celebrity whose own body sort of botched their plastic surgery results. Former Disney Channel star Ashley Tisdale is another celebrity who's gone plastic and has experienced health complications as a result. When Ashley first got implants, she received the results that she was looking for. Ashley told her fans how before she got them done, she felt really insecure about her body, saying that she felt as though getting this procedure done would make her feel better about herself. Although this augmentation did boost her confidence for a while, Ashley said that there soon came a time where the implants started to negatively affect her life and her health, saying, quote, "Little by little, I began struggling with minor health issues that just weren't adding up. Food sensitivities as well as gut issues that I thought could be caused by my implants," end quote. The actress continued talking about how she made the decision to remove her implants to save herself from her health complications. Even though she walked away from the initial procedure with a good result, her health is what really got botched in the process. At number 7, Justin Jedlicka. Justin Jedlicka, also known as the real-life Ken doll, got famous because he was on the show Botched and became a fan favorite, so obviously I had to include him in this list. Justin became famous because of his exaggerated looks, because he made it his life's mission to become a real-life Ken doll. For him, the more plastic he looks, the better. Justin was on the show very early on in the show's first season, making his debut in the series' first episode. He said that he's received about 1,000 surgeries to achieve the look that he has now, and there's no sign of stopping his transformation anytime soon. Justin has said that he became obsessed with his appearance after growing up watching the show, The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and recalling that everyone on that show had plastic surgery. He thought that this lifestyle meant that you were successful and made it his mission to look like a Ken doll. Over the years, he's received some wild procedures to achieve all sorts of results, and if you want to know the craziest procedure, then you'll have to look that one up yourself because that one is certainly NSFW. At number 6, Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne looks pretty good these days, but the talk show host has credited most of that to her plastic surgery that she's received over the years. Sharon has been pretty open about the procedures that she's had done and is also someone who encourages others to invest in their looks too. In the past, it's been reported that she's received multiple facelifts, leg and arm lifts, a neck lift, breast augmentation, Botox, and other injectables. But even after everything she's had done and the support she has for other people who go under the knife, she's also said that there are some procedures that she regrets because she thinks that she may have been botched. When talking about her facelift, she said that there are some angles where she looks a little too plastic for her liking, and she said, quote, "In a lot of shots, my face looks plastic, and at certain angles, I was like, oh dear, I should not have done that. Ooh, that's a bad one," end quote. She seems to be pretty happy with her appearance for the most part, but she's also said she doesn't want to put her face through any more pain over fears of going too far with her looks. At number 5, Mickey Rourke. For a long time, people have made some pretty harsh comments about Mickey Rourke's face. In his early career, he was praised for his baby face and boyish charm, but now, not so much. A lot of people believe that he doesn't look anything like he used to, and a lot of that has to do with his botched plastic surgery. Mickey has spoken out about his altered appearance, saying that boxing is really what caused things to go downhill for him. Because he went in for reconstructive surgery from things that had been damaged through boxing, his face just never been the same. Speaking further on this, Mickey said, quote, "Most of it was to mend the mess of my face because of boxing, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together. I had my nose broken twice, I had 5 operations on my nose and 1 on my smashed cheekbone," end quote. If Mickey had gone to someone else for these procedures, maybe things would have been different. At number 4, Lisa Rinna. Sometimes it's the doctors who cause you to get botched, and sometimes it's your own actions. Reality star Lisa Rinna once said that she got botched when using Botox because she went overboard with the procedure and took her looks too far. She's spoken out about her bad decisions when it comes to plastic surgery, and needless to say, she's not happy with it. Lisa said that she got Botox in her cheeks because all of her friends were getting it done and she wanted to try it out for herself, but after getting it all done, Lisa said, quote, "I saw a photo and was like, oh Jesus, that's no good. That's not good," end quote. Lisa has since learned from her mistake, saying, quote, "I learned less is more. Keep your skin good, but I still like Botox. It's great. It doesn't change the shape of my face. When you change your face, you don't look like yourself. Looking fresher is one thing. I look like a freak," end quote. At number 3, Jamie Lee Curtis. This one actually surprised me a lot because I never actually knew Jamie Lee Curtis had gone under the knife, but apparently it happened and it wasn't cute. The actress opened up about a procedure that she had received before shooting a movie where she got the fat taken out from underneath her eyes because she said she was looking puffy. Well, it turns out that she got a little botched and her looks weren't too great because when she got to set to start filming the movie, the cameraman actually said that he couldn't shoot her anymore. Jamie recalled feeling super embarrassed because she had changed her looks too much. She also said that she was unaware of the fact that when you take fat from one area of your body, it, quote, "comes back in another place." Jamie took this botched experience as a learning moment and never tried a procedure like that again. At number 2, Heidi Montag. Heidi Montag is pretty well known for her dramatic plastic surgery. In 2010, Heidi took her looks and body to the limit and underwent 10 procedures in the same day. The procedures that she received were a neck liposuction, a brow lift, a nose job revision, a chin reduction, getting her ears pinned back, a second breast augmentation, fat injections in her cheek, liposuction in her waist, hips, and inner thighs, Botox in her forehead, and butt implants. So there was a lot going on that day. In the aftermath of her dramatic transformation, Heidi opened up about her procedures and her regrets and what went wrong. She said that her breast augmentation went too far as she made her chest too heavy for the rest of her body, and as if that wasn't bad enough, this long day of surgery took such a huge toll on her body that she actually flatlined for a minute during surgery. Heidi also said that these procedures left her with some pretty gnarly scarring as well. After all of this work, not only was her appearance botched, but her career as well, as she ended up losing a lot of work because of this drastic change. And finally, at number 1, Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley, the wife of the late Elvis Presley, suffered through a plastic surgery nightmare when she went in to receive injectables from an unreliable source. Priscilla had begun dabbling in plastic surgery, undergoing a few procedures such as injections and facelifts, but when she fell victim to an unlicensed cosmetic surgeon, that's where things got serious. This unlicensed professional gave Priscilla injections in her cheeks and used products and techniques that were unapproved. To make matters worse, it turns out that the silicone that the doctor used on Priscilla was similar to that which mechanics use for car parts. Thankfully, Priscilla got her justice on the person who performed these procedures and they got jail time, but Priscilla as well as a handful of other people were left as botched victims of this mad doctor.
Number 10, Madonna. What is there to say about this woman's career? Madonna has been stuck in our heads since we first heard her hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You. What may have also gotten stuck in your head though was just how gorgeous this woman once was. In the 1980s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, at times channeling some serious Marilyn Monroe energy. It was unfortunate that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 80s to now showcase the major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a mask of Madonna over their own face. What's more is this combination seems to have molded her eyes into the almond shape of the cat. Fans have always been left wondering what she may have looked like if she never got any surgery. Would she still be a material girl, or would that material be riddled with stain? Number 9, Kendall Jenner. There have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on our screens. Each and every member of that family are accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually a little bit larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there is no way she could have achieved this look by simply using cosmetics, unless they have some kind of a magical substance that yanks your face back, but it probably exists, but that's still very suspicious. Number 8. Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery has become so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to ones taken this year, it's night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are more almond-shaped and cat-like. Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving the treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time. In 2018, she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery may do to her face. While cat eye is not considered to be plastic surgery, it's still an invasion of one of the most sensitive areas of your face. But I guess that's okay. As long as nothing gets injected into her eyeball, everything's fine. Number 7. Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. The side-by-sides from her Disney days show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of a cheek filler, but her eyes are much more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past designed to enhance features without the need of invasive surgery. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently possesses. It comes as no surprise that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any kind of major surgeries. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. While it's never been confirmed if she actually received any work, just watching her on screen these days is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo we once knew has vanished into thin air. Number 6. Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. What's good? No, she just denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages. Over the years, fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both in her face and her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns. But as with many things involving her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work on her face. Side-by-sides show that Nicki did not have naturally shaped almond eyes when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her eyes, because they're not the right shape now. Number 5. Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers or maybe even a rhinoplasty done. The jury's still out on whether or not she's had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far to denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so it's kind of wishy-washy. We can't ignore the changes that we have seen in the past few years. The Santa Tell Me singer has been rumored to have had even more cosmetic procedures towards the end of 2022, causing her to look almost unrecognizable. The redhead that we all loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems to be a totally different person now. Ariana's eyes are more almond shaped, and she now has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles that she just never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received the surgery or not, but the face that we all knew and loved is hidden behind this new Ariana. Number 4. Kim Basinger. The 69-year-old actress and former model's face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she's had some work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to express his side, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claimed that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes. These could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables such as Botox. She also has clear lines around her mouth, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin also seems to be fresher with a more even complexion. This could be due to several factors, such as laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nizab agreed and added that he believed she might have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid Botox and any other skin treatment, he said, ladies, if you want to avoid Botox or other skin treatments, listen to my mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all these years. Yeah, she wrote that on Instagram. I don't think that's true. Kim herself has never actually addressed the speculation surrounding her looks, but number 3, Renee Zellweger. When we first met Renee in the cult classic Empire Records, she was a baby face with bangs and brown lipstick, but nowadays she is unrecognizable. After making a name for herself starring as Bridget Jones, she continued to star in several comedies and romantic flicks alongside performers like Jim Carrey, Keanu Reeves, and Tom Cruise. In 2019, she reinvented herself, appearing on the show What If on Netflix. Fans were shocked to see the differences between her 90s glory and her current state. Her eyes were noticeably smaller, her cheeks were more pronounced, and according to several sources, she had received cat eye surgery a few years back to help combat the effects of aging. What it accidentally did was make it so that Renee always looked like she's squinting. While she delivered a solid performance on the show, fans were distracted by the stiff facial features of their main actor. Number 2, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled, but as the years went by, it seemed like the crow's feet vanished into thin air. By the time this past year rolled around and she made a return to the mainstream starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday, she was a completely different human being. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills. She's never actually confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's pretty impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and condition of your face. Number 1, Jocelyn Wildenstein. This New York socialite is no stranger to the world of media. Ever since the mid-1990s, she's been famous around the world for being a literal cat woman, having received so many plastic surgeries that she now resembles a cat. I don't know, she looks more like a lion to me, but lion woman doesn't have as nice of a ring to it. Her journey started with the titular cat eye surgery, but it was just the first in many steps to get that perfect face. According to her friends and family, the surgeries were not intended to give her a Barbie-like face, but rather that of a lynx, which had apparently been her pet for a while. While she wasn't famous for a long time, it was the photos that were shared following her divorce from husband Alec that got her into the mainstream. Most of the attention was drawn to her looks, and she was quickly dubbed the Catwoman by the entire world. Despite being worth millions of dollars, Jocelyn has faced financial struggles over the past few years, and at one point even being sued by American Express for owing them $70,000 in credit. Her cat eyes may be trapped behind a massive layer of plastic and silicone, but they will always be the first step taken down the rocky road. Number 10, Kendall Jenner. Now, there have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on screen. Each and every member of this family has been accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest of her family. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there's no way she could achieve this look just by using makeup, unless, there's some special magical substance that yanks your face back, which probably exists, but it's suspicious, which is basically what a ponytail facelift is, so it's really the only real explanation. Number 9, Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. Side-by-sides from her Disney days till now show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of cheek fillers, but her eyes are a lot more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past, designated to enhance features without the need of invasive surgeries. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently has. It comes as no surprise to learn that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and is adamantly denied that she has received any major surgeries over the years. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from her Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. Now, while it's never been confirmed if she's actually received any kind of work, just watching her on screen is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo that a lot of people grew up with has vanished into thin air. Number 8. Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery is becoming so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to the ones that are taken this year, it is night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are a lot more almond shaped, and Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving this treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time, and in 2018 she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery could do to her face. While this ponytail surgery is not the most extreme surgery there is, it's still an invasive one, and it's one of the more sensitive areas of your face to take care of, but that's okay as long as nothing gets, injected into your eyeballs, right? Everything's fine. Number 7. Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. "What's good, Miley?" No, she denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages, and over the years fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both on her face and on her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns, but as with many things involved with her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work, right? Whether it's plastic surgery or not, she just looks different. Side by sides show that Nicki didn't have these naturally almond eyes like she has now when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her face, because it looks different. Number 6. Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers, maybe some rhinoplasty. The jury's still out on whether she had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far as denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so who knows? But we can't ignore the changes that we've seen this year. The singer has been rumored to have even more cosmetic surgeries towards the end of this year, causing her to look unrecognizable. The redhead that we loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems like a totally different person. Ariana's eyes are more almond shaped, she has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles, and she never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received surgery or not, but the face that we know and love is hidden behind a new Ariana. Number 5. Kim Basinger. Kim Basinger is a former model whose face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she has had some kind of work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to express, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claims that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes, and these could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables like Botox. She has also clear lines around her mouth area, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin is also much fresher and has more of a complexion. This could be due to several factors like laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nazab agreed and added that he believed that she might have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman that there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid any Botox, any other skin treatments, just listen to Ireland's mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all those years. She wrote it on an Instagram post. Kim herself has never addressed speculation surrounding her looks. Number 4. Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled. But as the years went by, it seemed like those crow's feet vanished into thin air. And by the time this past year rolled around, she made a return to the mainstream, starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday. she was a completely different human being, according to fans. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look like. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills, and she never confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and face conditions. Number 3, Lil' Kim. For the past 25 years, she's been pushing the boundaries as a female rapper and breaking records. Lil' Kim's also considered to have pioneered mainstream love-positive feminism in hip-hop and has carved a path for many contemporary artists like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Cash Doll. In addition to her unique sound and lyrical matters, she's known for her breathtaking, flamboyant fashion style and advocacy work for various causes. However, the American rapper served as an unforgettable MTV moment that made heads turn a few years ago. It's tough to deny her natural presence and beauty. After her lip surgery and a series of facial surgeries, she became unrecognizable to fans. Literally, people at her concerts were like, "Hey, who's that?" This speaks volumes, especially in front of the people who adore you the most. It also means that Lil' Kim had too much work done. Staying relevant in the scene can be challenging as more female rappers rise to fame. Unfortunately, Lil' Kim's attempts to fix her perceived natural flaws took her commanding presence and gorgeous looks away. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family comedy The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James, who randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. The twins then hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together, and it is a great movie. I love it so much. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Mean Girls as, the main character, Cathy Heron. Unfortunately, her character took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she served 84 minutes in jail. Yes, minutes. Some people spend years in jail, but Lindsay got a little warning because she's Lindsay Lohan. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and she decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and the little Lindsay that we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone. Number 1, Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram Live in December 2022, she talked about a procedure she had done to her butt years ago, and it gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son, Wave, in 2021, Cardi B said that people thought she had work done when in reality she had gotten surgery in August to have 95% of her bipolymer bum injections removed. She went on to say that you should do your research and listen to doctors, and not just with, injections, but also anything involving your rear and all the other plastic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries as well. Like, really, just double check your sources, people. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because of the need to recover from liposuction. And on Twitter, she talked about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of it. That same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter, Culture, and was unhappy with needing to take time off. So Cardi's biggest thing is not that the procedures are bad themselves, but with the recovery time that it seems to take. Well, fear no more, Instalift is probably on its way, which is, I don't know, maybe that's a thing. I'm not a scientist.
And at number 10, Faith Hill. Faith Hill recently graced the cover of People magazine with her husband, Tim McGraw, and fans were shocked at her unrecognizable appearance. Some fans are even convinced that there's no way that it's Faith in the photo. She has light brown curly hair in the photo and seemingly a heavily edited face. Users in the comment section of the post are all shocked over the photo, with fans saying things like, quote, "Find Faith, because that can't be her." Another said, quote, "That's not Faith, there's no way." But other fans came to Faith's defense, saying that nothing had changed and she was just getting older. Some even complimented the fact that she's embracing her natural curls. One fan clapped back at the haters, saying, quote, "For everyone saying she's had work done, she hasn't. It's her darker natural hair she's embracing, and if you zoom in you can see her wrinkles. They edited her a bit too much, but sorry to disappoint, Faith has had zero work done, she's a natural beauty." And at number 9, Sarah Hyland. Sarah Hyland is known for changing her look on a whim, and has made several dramatic changes to her hair in the last year. And it looks like she decided to close out the year with a bang, and she debuted a new hairstyle at the 2021 People's Choice Awards on December 7th. The first big change with her hair happened back in February when she transformed into a redhead. Then in June she started wearing her hair curled due to curly hair extensions. And now in December she's gone back to brunette and wearing blunt bangs along with the bob haircut. She debuted the look on Instagram, calling the look a, quote, "version of a Bixie," which is a mix between a bob and a pixie haircut. And at number 8, Chriselle Staus.
Chriselle Staus has been known for her long blonde locks since she graced our screens on Selling Sunset, but at the 2021 People's Choice Awards, she shocked the world when she debuted dark brown hair. Chriselle wore a plunging red gown by Italian designer Genny, which was a perfect complement to her new look. Chriselle has been seen out with her new boyfriend and boss Jason Oppenheim as of late, but walked the PCA red carpet solo. The two made their relationship Instagram official earlier this year. Jason said, quote, "Chriselle and I became close friends and has developed into an amazing relationship. I care about her deeply and we are very, very happy together." Chriselle also revealed that the ladies of Selling Sunset had wrapped filming the 5th season of the hit Netflix show, so we might be seeing her new hair on TV very soon. In at number 7, Jade Klein. Teen Mom star Jade Klein just showed off her new eyelash extensions, and fans were shocked to see how different she looked following multiple plastic surgery procedures that she underwent earlier this year. Klein has been proudly showcasing her new appearance on social media. She revealed that her transformation included having fat transferred into her breasts, while also having a Brazilian butt lift and liposuction as part of the transformation. Jade opened up about her quote boob job back in May and told fans quote, "No implants, just some fat transferred," saying that they were the same cup size as before, just fuller. She also shared her painful recovery after her Brazilian butt lift procedure, admitting it was worse than she expected. She said during a podcast quote, "I saw so many people I knew that were having BBLs and I was so impressed and astonished at the shapes of their bodies." She revealed it was 10 times worse than childbirth. The upcoming season of the show is set to showcase her dramatic transformation. In at number 6, Tilda Swinton. One of the most dramatic transformation actors ever made for a role has to be Tilda Swinton in Suspiria, as the actress transformed into a man to play 82-year-old therapist Joseph Klemperer. Tilda revealed that she wore heavy prosthetics to play the role, and they started creating the prosthetics 18 months before they started filming. Tilda even requested fake male genitalia to go along with her costume just to ensure she was able to get into character fully. Her role as Dr. Klemperer is kept under wraps during filming, with the production maintaining the role was played by newcomer Lutz Ebersdorf. At the time, she rejected answering questions about the role until she spoke with the New York Times recently and revealed she was playing the lead role as a man. Halfway at number 5, Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill is currently filming his latest project with Martin Scorsese, a Grateful Dead biopic where Jonah Hill is playing Jerry Garcia, the iconic 60s guitarist. New images have leaked from the set, showing Jonah looking very different than his usual self. He looked practically unrecognizable with a bushy beard and slicked back shoulder-length hair. Garcia was known for his mane of dark, unruly hair and matching beard, and it seems that Hill has nailed the look. Jonah Hill is not only acting in the movie, he is also a producer on the film. The film doesn't have a release date as of now, but it's being produced by Apple. This is not the only big change that Jonah has made this year. He dyed his hair bleach blonde in February and was rocking a surfer aesthetic before the big change for the film. In at number 4, Geena Davis. The 65-year-old actress is known for her roles in classic movies like Beetlejuice and A League of Their Own, where she was known as the bombshell lead. But she was recently seen out in November of this year and does not look like she's aged gracefully. She was spotted walking outside in LA, wearing a scarf wrapped around her head and walking in the streets barefoot. This was not the only time she was seen out and looking bizarre. She was seen out walking another time, also barefoot, while on the street. Public outings are not common for Davis these days. The last time she was seen out was when she celebrated the 30th anniversary of the 1991 classic film Thelma and Louise with Susan Sarandon. In at number 3, Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith looked unrecognizable, continuing her role as Niobe in the 4th film. The movie, directed by Lana Wachowski, is set to release in theaters and on HBO Max later this month, and Pinkett Smith is acting alongside Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss. In the trailer, Jada looks completely unrecognizable. The makeup and prosthetics she wore while filming make her appear much older and totally different than how we recognize her. When recollecting her experience filming the franchise, she said, quote, "It's so easy to forget how much noise the Matrix pumps into your head. Something else makes the same kind of noise: war." Pinkett Smith starred in the 2nd and 3rd films in the series, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions, as a Zion Rebel fighter. In at number 2, Demi Moore. Demi Moore shocked fans when she stepped out to attend the 2021 Fashion Awards in London. She attended the awards wearing a posh off-the-shoulder gown with leather gloves and a black cape. Her hair and makeup was simple, but it was her appearance that got people talking. Over time, it seems that her face has gone from angular to round, and she's done a number of facial smoothing treatments because there's no trace of a wrinkle on her face. Her face also has an unnatural appearance, with a jarring contour line from her ears to her lips, creating incredibly defined cheekbones. But her new cheekbones are making her face look puffy and unnatural. And finally at number 1, Lara Flynn Boyle. Actress Lara Flynn Boyle was spotted out and about in Laguna Beach for a rare outing in November and looked completely unrecognizable from her former bombshell self. She was out running errands while her friends walked their dogs by the beach. She was dressed casually, wearing oversized sweats and a flannel button-up, presumably trying to remain anonymous. She's dealt with rumors that she's changed her face for years with plastic surgery, as it's undeniable that she looks nothing like her former self. While she was out, she was wearing sunglasses that partially shielded her face, but it was clear she looked unnatural and puffy.
Number 10. Portia de Rossi. In her 2010 groundbreaking memoir Unbearable Lightness, Portia de Rossi reveals the pain and illness that haunted her for decades, from a time she was a 12-year-old girl working as a model in Australia through her early rise to fame as a cast member of the hit television show Ally McBeal. She also detailed her struggles with and while living in the public eye, and recounted how she survived on 300 calories a day and took 20 laxatives daily, trying to maintain a weight of 82 pounds. According to her memoir, Portia both starved herself and putting her life in danger and concealing from herself and everyone around her the seriousness of her illness, and described the elaborate rituals around food that came to dominate hours of every day. The actress did this all while terrified that the truth of her sexuality would be exposed in the tabloids, and revealed the heartache and fear that comes from living a life in the closet, which was only magnified by her unrelenting desire to be thinner, more in control of her body, and the number of calories she consumed and spent. But it wasn't all bad. Portia also recounted how falling in love with Ellen DeGeneres helped her develop a healthy body image, embrace her sexual orientation, and gain inner peace. Number 9. Janice Dickinson. A strange encounter with Bill Cosby in 1982 was described in the 2002 memoir No Lifeguard on Duty by the self-anointed world's first supermodel Janice Dickinson. In her book, she reveals real moments that she experienced with Cosby and goes into great detail when it comes to taking back the narrative. Janice mentioned how Cosby allegedly answered his hotel room door in nothing but a towel and kissed her. He then took her to dinner and suggested that she follow him back upstairs. The memoir was pretty explosive at the time and would come back into relevance in 2018 when she chose to testify in court to Cosby's crimes. The comedian was once known to millions as America's Dad, famous for his clean brand of family comedy and his award-winning work with children's programming. So Janice's memoir really did help expose Cosby's double life, as eventually more than 50 women came out claiming that the star slipped them illicit substances and took advantage of them while they were unconscious. And in April of 2018, an 80-year-old Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison, although he would eventually be released in 2021. Number 8. Corey Feldman. In his deeply personal 2013 memoir, child star and teen heartthrob Corey Feldman exposes the darkness that loomed behind his rise to fame. Although he undoubtedly had a successful career, famous friendships, and high-profile relationships, Corey reveals a side to his star-studded life that no one knew about, and it's full of tragedy. He came from a broken family that he emancipated himself from at the age of 15. As a teenager, he suffered physical, emotional, and sexual violence. The Stand By Me star was also arrested and struggled with addiction throughout his time as a successful working actor. But most shockingly, Corey also implied that his close friend Corey Haim's lifelong battle with addiction was the result of being preyed upon by a powerful older man. Following the book's publication came rampant speculations about the identity of the offender, and it's something that readers still argue about to this day. His memoir, Choreography, weaves a heartbreaking story of pain and survival that reveals just how dark the industry can really be. Number 7. Holly Madison. Former Playboy bunny and Girls Next Door star Holly Madison dished on how oppressive life with Hugh Hefner really was in 2015's Down the Rabbit Hole. Madison described the many bizarre rules and rituals that Hefner imposed upon his girlfriends. For instance, that they needed to wear matching flannel pajamas, engage in group dressed in tiny skirts and bralettes, and had a daily curfew of 9 p.m. The memoir tells the story of Madison's time with Hefner from 2001 to 2008 and its aftermath. She goes into great detail about the reality of her life behind the cameras, how her depression in the Playboy mansion reached harrowing depths, yet she felt trapped there. She also opened up about her unwillingness to admit to anyone how sad she really was, and Hefner's emotional control over her. The book also explores her time on the reality show The Girls Next Door and the weirdness that was pop culture in the early 2000s. When speaking about her book, Holly said, quote, "I felt like I had something to say about being in the midst of that whole thing that was going on where Paris Hilton and Jessica Simpson and Kendra was so celebrated, and I was a part of it too, for being dumb on TV. Part of the reason I wanted to write the book was to show the other side of it," which goes to show you just how much of it was all for the cameras. Number 6. Shania Twain. The Grammy-winning country singer confronted her childhood demons when she wrote her 2011 memoir, From This Moment On, describing how her stepfather Jerry was physically, sexually, and verbally violent towards her and her mother Sharon. In a frank and often shocking autobiography, the singer reveals graphic and personal details about her rags to riches story and the price of ambition and success. Throughout her memoir, it also became clear that Shania experienced a harrowing degree of poverty and hunger. For instance, she claimed that sometimes there was only bread and mustard for her and her 4 siblings to eat, and they often wore plastic bread bags to cover their shoes to protect their feet during winter, and regularly went to school without lunch. The singer also had to deal with a double betrayal in her life. She wrote about the heartache that she went through when she found out about the affair between her husband of 14 years, Robert Lang, and her best friend. As a result, Shania became so distraught that she literally lost her voice to spasmodic dysphonia, which left her unable to sing. So her memoir explores how she worked through all that heartbreak. Number 5. Sharon Stone. She became a Hollywood icon and a household name after her role in Basic Instinct, and in a 2021 memoir, The Beauty of Living Twice, she finally reveals the vulnerability behind her femme fatale persona. She goes into great detail about her experiences in Hollywood, like how she was tricked into that famous shot in Basic Instinct, and ill-equipped for fame when it finally came to her. She was also routinely taken advantage of in the male-dominated film industry. She claims that the filmmakers were not entirely honest about what they captured with the camera, and so they didn't have her complete consent to put that scene in the film. Quote, "I do think we have to create a think tank that really addresses what is a crime, what is a felony, what is consent." The name of her memoir actually comes from a life-changing brain hemorrhage that she suffered in 2001 that almost killed her. It left her without the basic ability to function, and she ended up losing her family, her career, and a huge part of her life, which she had to start again from the ground up. Stone also talks about how she went through a childhood of and violence to a career in an industry that actually brought back a lot of those memories for her. Although in Hollywood, it was all hidden under the cover of money and glamour. Number 4. Leah Remini. A former longtime Scientologist, King of Queens star Leah Remini opened up about her experiences in the church in her 2015 memoir, Troublemaker. As a teenager in the church's Sea organization, Remini said that she was reprimanded for sunning by the pool at the Scientology-run Sandcastle Hotel in Florida, and as a punishment was taken out to sea on a boat, thrown overboard, and nearly drowned by a group leader. Not only that, but she was also once fined $40,000 after confessing to stealing food from the headquarters 20 years earlier. In her memoir, Leah also made some shocking allegations about several well-known Hollywood celebrities. In fact, she recalled a time that her and her husband, Angelo, spent time at Tom Cruise's Beverly Hills mansion when he invited a group of well-known Scientologists and other celebrities, including the Smiths. She actually called Will and Jada Pinkett Smith famous friends of the church, and even mentioned the Scientology school that they opened, revealing that despite Jada's denial, she is indeed good friends with Tom Cruise and an active member of the controversial religion. Number 3. Jeanette McCurdy. Described as both heartbreaking and hilarious, iCarly star Jeanette McCurdy's bluntly titled memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, gives fans a glimpse into what really went on behind the cameras, something that up until now fans have only been able to speculate about. Jeanette exposes her traumatic experiences on Nickelodeon and the disturbing truth about how she was mistreated by her mother, who pushed her to be a child star, noting that the persona she was known for throughout her youth and her young adult life was a front forced upon her by her mom, who, in addition to everything else, was extremely physically inappropriate with both her and her brother, even when they were teenagers. Jeanette also discusses the perils of young fame and reveals that she developed developed anorexia as a child and talks about why she ultimately quit acting altogether. She also details numerous instances where she felt exploited as a teen actor, both on and off set. The actress refers to the person behind the demands as simply the creator throughout the memoir, never naming them. She simply describes them as mean-spirited, controlling, and terrifying, calling a time when she was filming an episode of iCarly that he insisted that she wear a bikini instead of a one-piece swimsuit which she preferred. The revelations in her new book are absolutely shocking, and they really expose the traumatic experience of being a child star. Number 2. Christina Crawford. At the height of her fame in the 1940s, Joan Crawford had a considerable reputation to uphold. She won a 1945 Best Actress Academy Award for the lead role in Mildred Pierce. She lived in a beautiful house in Brentwood, LA, and used her wealth to adopt and raise 4 children, including Christina Crawford. For all of this, Joan was celebrated in the public eye and had extensive magazine spreads about her happy family life. But to her daughter, the facade was a complete lie, and eventually her frustration at the discrepancy between her mother's private existence and her public reputation bubbled over. In 1978, she published Mummy Dearest, which told the truth about her mother's character, that she was a sadistic perfectionist. It was the first tell-all celebrity memoir to talk so openly about childhood and subsequently was a worldwide sensation upon its release. In fact, it stayed at the top of the New York Times bestseller list for 42 weeks and even resulted in the 1981 film adaptation starring Faye Dunaway that would go on to become a cult hit. To this day, most people associate Joan Crawford with that infamous scene where she launches into a vicious tirade after discovering Christina's dresses were hung up on wire clothes hangers. So it's safe to say that her reputation never recovered. And coming in at number 1, Rose McGowan. In her 2018 memoir Brave, the outspoken actress takes readers behind the scenes of her life in Hollywood, where she has become known as one of the fiercest and realest women fighting to expose the ugly truth about Harvey Weinstein and the systematic misogyny that has defined the industry for so long. The most outspoken of all of Weinstein's accusers, McGowan opens up about when she first met the movie mogul at the Sundance Film Festival, but only refers to him in her book as the monster. She was at the premiere of her 1997 film Going All the Way when he sat behind her. The next day she was sent to his hotel room where the two talked about films and her acting goals. But as he walked her out, McGowan writes that he pushed her into his bathroom, forcibly backed her into the wall and ripped off her clothes. But most shockingly, after the incident, the actress was driven to a photo op with her Phantoms co-star Ben Affleck. When she told him what happened, he simply said, "Damn it, I told him to stop doing that." Her memoir couldn't be more relevant to current events, as to date, 84 women have come forward with allegations against Weinstein, and he is currently serving a prison sentence of 23 years.
Hollywood seems all glitz and glamour, but quite a few celebrities have referenced the underlying darkness that occurs behind the scenes. Jim Carrey, one of the biggest and highest paid actors of our time, has shared his thoughts on Hollywood since retiring from the spotlight. After the Chris Rock Will Smith Oscars slap incident, Carrey shared his opinions on the standing ovation Will Smith received when winning an Oscar later that night. Hollywood is just spineless, and it really felt like it was a clear indication that we aren't the cool club anymore. Carrey went on to say that Smith should have been escorted from the Dolby Theater after slapping Rock for making an insensitive joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. In March 2022, Carrey announced to Access Hollywood that he was probably retiring from acting. "Well, I'm retiring. Yeah, probably. I'm being fairly serious," he shared. "It depends. If the angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink that says to me that it's going to be really important for people to see, I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break." Carrey added, "I feel like, and this is something you might never hear another celebrity say as long as time exists, I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough." Our second celebrity is Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato starred in many Disney Channel movies and shows like Camp Rock, Princess Protection Program, and Sunny with a Chance. But on a podcast, Lovato shares she, as well as many of her co-stars, were subjected to harsh treatment and multiple strict rules and regulations while working for the company. She said, "You can't be seen at a party with a red cup in your hand because it looks like you're drinking." There was this website called Ocean Up that would take all scandalous things that were happening to Disney actors and put it on there. So we lived in fear of that website. I didn't have food in my hotel room. They wouldn't let me eat the snacks in the minibar. Then my security walked by my room and was made aware that they had barricaded me into my hotel room. They put furniture outside my door so that I couldn't get out and sneak out and eat if I wanted to. It was that level of controlling when it came to my food, which just made my eating troubles worse. She also stated that she felt that she was practically taking care of her own family. At a certain point, I was paying for the roof over my whole family's head, and my dad had quit his job to become my manager, so his income was coming right from me. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and there was just that pressure of I'm paying for everything and like I need to keep going because if things start to disappear, so does the finances. Our next celeb on the list is Isla Fisher. The actress nearly drowned while filming a scene in Now You See Me. Fisher discussed what went wrong with the stunt, and it is horrifying. I was in a tank of water. My character is submerged in a tank, and piranhas are dropped on her head, she says. And whilst we were there, we shot it over 3.5 days. Even though I had a quick release magnetic thing on my handcuffs, the chain that went between my ankles and my wrists was not able to be broken, and it got stuck underneath the slat and I was trapped. The actor also discussed the kill switch in the tank. There was a quick release switch that could have emptied the tank of water in 70 seconds. However, as a result of being tangled, Fisher was unable to reach for the switch. I was very scared, and I was banging and saying, "Set me free!" But everybody just thought I was doing fabulous acting. They thought I was being Meryl Streep in that tank. Actually, I was drowning. I guess Hollywood really wanted that good take. Our next celebrity is model Miranda V. The modeling world seems harmless, but darkness looms. Miranda accused Gigi and Bella Hadid's father of inappropriate physical behavior in a lengthy Instagram post in February 2018. Thank you, Kate Upton. It is time people like Paul Marciano and Mohammed Hadid get exposed for who they really are. I met with Paul at his guest headquarters. That's actually an apartment. I thought it was a professional meeting, but it was just me, him, and champagne, where he inappropriately touched me in an apartment. All to get a test shoot for guests. Former Disney Child star Allison Stoner exposes Hollywood with her new podcast, and some of the claims are alarming. Allison said, "I lost the ability to relate to non-famous experiences after the age of 8. Imagine on your 8th birthday you could never walk outside again without being stopped, asked for photos, or followed, unless you wore a disguise or brought security with you." Allison also mentioned the horror when they had to kiss both Dylan Sprouse and Cole Sprouse for an episode of The Sweet Life. The experience left them with conflicted feelings. Your character may have some arc or transformation that isn't evident upon reading the script of the first episode, Stoner explained. So writers and executives might decide to make your character do anything on the next episode, and it's assumed that you're gonna agree to whatever is scripted. My first kiss, and several of the times I experienced kissing, all happened on camera. On camera. Was I ready for that? No, I felt young and uncomfortable, Stoner said, but they were already under contract and didn't want to appear difficult. Another celeb that has exposed Hollywood is Selena Gomez. The superstar who boasts 430 million followers on Instagram often speaks about the downside of being famous, telling Interview magazine in 2020 that everything she does causes a reaction, saying, "The sad part is, I don't remember a time when that wasn't the case. What has kept me afloat is that I know eventually it'll be somebody else, and I don't mean that in a negative way." She said, adding that fame has still allowed her to talk about things that are important to her. "A huge part of why I have a platform is to help people. That's why I think I'm okay with the magnitude. I mean, I'm not really okay with it, but I'm gonna say that I am because it's worth it." Perhaps the celebrity with the most famous Hollywood horror story is Miss Britney Spears. In 2008, Jamie Spears, her dad, was granted the conservatorship after Britney reportedly struggled with mental health issues and was hospitalized. After Britney was released, a Los Angeles court made the conservatorship permanent, giving her father power over all her finances and her medical decisions. Although Britney was an adult at the time, she was treated like a prisoner and says she was not allowed to leave her house unless granted permission. Her father was making more money than her because he was taking a huge percentage of her earnings and not telling her. Wow, what a father he is. The greed of Hollywood doesn't stop there though. Scientology, a popular organization in Hollywood, has been known to take insane amounts of money from its members, claiming the payments will get them into a higher level in the afterlife. Actress Leah Remini, a former Scientologist, exposes the organization for the way they ruined her life after she left. The actress, who was brought into the church as an 8-year-old after her mother converted to the religion, slammed the organization for its alleged scare tactics and seemingly helping certain members avoid jail for various horrible crimes. Leah met famous Scientologist/actor Tom Cruise while still in the organization, but had to pay $1 million to do so, which she paid. After leaving, Leah sued the organization for alleged stalking and hacking. She states she reportedly had cars chasing her and following her every single day and had hackers hack into her bank account and steal thousands of dollars, all because she left the organization. Yikes. Not all Hollywood drama comes from Hollywood though. And this was the case for Kim Kardashian in Paris. In October 2016, while on a work trip to Paris, Kardashian was robbed at 3 a.m. while alone in her hotel. She was tied up and blindfolded while men in masks raided the hotel room for money. In the end, $10 million worth of jewelry was stolen, as well as 2 cell phones. Kim's sisters and bodyguards were at the club while everything took place, and Kim decided to stay home because she was tired. Boy, was that a life-changing mistake. Kim recalled the fear that she felt during a conversation with the concierge, who was also held hostage in that moment. She says to the concierge, "I'm like, what is happening? Are we gonna die? Just tell them I have children. I have babies. I have a husband. I have a family. Like, I have to get home. Tell them, take anything you want." 2 French judges later charged 12 people in relation to that robbery. Kardashian, who shares 4 kids with ex-Kanye West, has said that she almost lost herself in the year following the crime. Explaining on the Alec Baldwin show in 2018, "I was never depressed, but I wasn't motivated to get up and work like I used to. It shook me." However, the reality star also shared that she has learned to feel grateful for the experience in a way. "There was a lot of me that measured who I was by how much I had. I thought, oh, I'm worth so much," she noted. "That needed to change in me." Our final celebrity of the day is Miley Cyrus. Although Hannah Montana was a family-friendly show, starring in it gave Miley an identity crisis, she says. "I had gone from being a character almost as often as I was myself." And actually, the concept of the show is that when you're this character, when you have this alter ego, you're valuable. You've got millions of fans, you're the biggest star in the world, and then the concept was that when I looked like myself, when I didn't have the wig on anymore, nobody cared about me. I wasn't a star anymore. So that was drilled into my head, Cyrus explained. "I really had to break that, and I think that's maybe why I almost created a characterized version of myself at times, in the way of being aware of how other people see me. I never created a character where it wasn't me, but I was aware of how people saw me, and I maybe played into it a little bit," Cyrus continued. Speaking of her persona after, Cyrus has also talked about how the costumes and makeup took their toll on her, likely causing some body dysmorphia. "I'm this fragile little girl playing a 16-year-old in a wig and a ton of makeup. It was like toddlers and tiaras." She said that being made to look like somebody she wasn't and made pretty for so many years meant that when it ended, she didn't know who she was.
Starting off this countdown at number 10, we have Phoebe Cates. At the peak of her career in the 80s, she would be cast in over 20 movies and was best known for starring in Gremlins and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Fame came fast for the former actress, and with her new and busy career, she was thriving in the industry. So while being at the top of your career, why would you all of a sudden just end it at such a young age? Well, it turns out she was more concerned with motherhood than anything, and after trying to be a mother of 2 and a full-time actress, Phoebe decided to become a full-time mom instead. It has been 30 years since leaving the big screen, and overall, she's actually kept a very low profile, while also opening up her own boutique in New York City. So apparently, rumor has it that if you actually go to her boutique, you might see her in there. Moving along to the next spot at number 9 is Terrence Howard. The American actor has starred in numerous films and TV shows, but you'll probably recognize him most from the movie Iron Man or the TV series Empire. Once Terrence finished his role in the 5-year running show Empire, he vowed that he would never act again. He said that quitting acting meant that he didn't need to pretend anymore, and even though his future plans were unknown, he knew he wanted to focus on bringing truth to the world. Terrence would later go on more in depth of the truth of his retirement, where he says that he spent 37 years in the industry pretending to be people that he isn't. He began making discoveries of his personal life and goals, and he believes that he would rather be teaching the truth rather than fictional. A little vague of an explanation, but whatever makes him happy. I'm still not understanding the truth part. Like, let us know the truth rather than saying I want to speak the truth, you know? Moving on to number 8 is Rick Moranis. The Canadian actor may not ring a bell until you hear that he was the main character in the childhood classic Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Legendary movie. I love that movie. That was so fun. His acting career was filled mostly by 80s comedy movies, as he starred in Ghostbusters, The Flintstones, and Parenthood. Having a successful career in the industry and well-known movies under his name, he would suddenly just disappear from the acting scene, and no one really knew why at the time. The sudden retirement was sadly due to the death of his wife, who passed away from cancer. Because of this, Rick would completely shift his time to dedicate himself to raising his 2 children, and he became a stay-at-home dad. The hiatus was only supposed to be a break, but eventually the break led to him not working on any movies ever since then. The former actor confesses that he does miss the people and nature of the film industry, as parenting is just a very different lifestyle, but he made it clear that he has no regrets about his career decisions. Moving on to the next celebrity on this list, at number 7 we have Karen Parsons. The retired actress is most known for her beloved character on the culture-defining show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. After the show ended in 1996, it would have been likely that fans would follow Karen to her other acting endeavors, but she seemingly wasn't able to find success in any other roles. After constant devastation and little to show for it, she grew very frustrated and eventually would lose her passion for acting, making her just move on to other things. She started working for a non-profit foundation called The Sweet Blackberry, which is a charity that is determined to teach children about Black history heroes through films. In 2019, she also released a children's novel called How High the Moon, and then in 2020, another book called Flying Free. Moving on to the next spot at number 6 is Peter Ostrom. You might not know Peter just by his name, but you'll definitely know him from his iconic role in the 1971 Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, as he played the main character, Charlie. After filming finished, the child star would be offered a 3-movie part deal, but Peter did not sign the contract. Peter's role in Willy Wonka would be his first and his last, as he would decide to quit his acting career right before it took off at the age of 12. The quick decision would be made simply because he just fell in love with a different profession, I guess, or passion at the time, since he was 12. The former child star enjoyed watching veterinarians at work on the animals that his family had, and because of this experience, it single-handedly changed his future as he became a veterinarian himself. Giving up the spotlight to become a veterinarian may seem like an odd decision, but acting was just not his passion, he says, and he found that career passion with being a veterinarian. Damn, he really chose horses over Willy Wonka movies. Taking the halfway spot at number 5 is Angus T. Jones. You may not recognize the name because, I wouldn't, but you definitely know him as the kid from the sitcom 2.5 Men. He played in the show from 2003 all the way to 2013, and it seemed like we watched him basically grow up, as he started the show at just 9 years old, and when he left the show he was 19. At one point in 2010, he was the highest paid child star in television, so it may come as a shock to you when he left just a few years later. The real reason that the young star left the show in Hollywood in general was because he became very dedicated to his faith and actually started slamming the TV show for how vulgar it was. He was in a moral conflict by being on the show because he just didn't feel that it followed his religion. So he eventually called it quits because of his religious beliefs and became a more normal young adult by attending college. The former actor would go on to study environmental studies, but would later transfer his major to Jewish studies. Now, the former child star is living in LA and is working as president of an event entertainment company. Taking the countdown by storm, at number 4 is held by the child star Mara Wilson. You probably know her for her role in Matilda or Miss Doubtfire, but have you ever wondered where the promising young actress went? I always wondered, until I started this job and I found out. Well, she played numerous characters as a child star, and instead of continuing her acting career, she backed away from the industry at the young age of 13. Moving on to the future, in 2016, she became a writer and released an autobiography depicting her accidental fame, as she called it. The book highlighted the now retired actress and her struggle with growing older and feeling as if her appearance didn't fit the Hollywood standard. Furthermore, in her book, she states that at 13, she was faced with a decision to get cosmetic surgery, audition for cute and funny friend characters, or just accept herself and give up her acting career for good. And well, we all know what decision she made because I already said it. Now she's a full-time writer and director and has chosen a whole new life for herself. Moving on to one of the top 3 spots, at number 3 is Jack Gleeson. The former actor has only been part of a handful of roles, but one of them includes the fan favorite TV series Game of Thrones. Jack played one of the main characters in the series from 2011 to 2014, but hasn't played in anything since. Due to the success of the show, Jack had the opportunity of acting for a living full time, but decided against it for very understandable reasons. In a statement made in an interview, Jack said that he stopped because he wasn't enjoying it as much as he used to. He mentioned that acting used to be something he did for fun with his friends or sometimes in the summer. It was once something that he very much enjoyed, but when you make a living from something, it kind of just changes your relationship with it sometimes. So once his time on Game of Thrones came to an end, he felt some sort of relief and just decided that his acting career would come to an end altogether. After his retirement, he went on to study philosophy in Dublin. Coming in our second place, we have Daniel Day-Lewis. The talented British actor has won 3 Oscars, all for Best Actor, 4 BAFTA awards, and has even been knighted by Queen Elizabeth II. But his acting days in Hollywood are over after his representative released a statement in 2017 stating that Daniel will no longer be working as an actor, adding that it was a private decision and that he will not be making any further comments on the subject. This statement was released after receiving his 3rd and final Oscar for his role in Phantom Thread. So it came as a surprise, because he just won. After being silent on the matter for quite some time, Daniel would later confess in an interview that quitting acting was something he had to do. This was due to overwhelming amount of sadness he faced while working on the film Phantom Thread. He even acknowledged that before making the film, he had no intention of quitting, so it's basically the movie's fault. Daniel also mentioned that he still can't quite figure out exactly what triggered him to quit for good after that movie, but said that he just needed to start to believe in the responsibility and values of what it means to be an actor. Now, being retired for a few years, he feels a different type of sadness, but in a good nostalgic way, he says, when looking back at his acting days. He could come back at any moment, really, right? You can leave and come back. Making our way to number 1 is Janet McCurdy. Former child star, played a leading role in Nickelodeon show iCarly and would move on to co-star on Sam and Cat alongside Ariana Grande. That being said, her acting career would not go further beyond Nickelodeon, and it came to an end in 2014. Though it was short-lived, she had a very successful career in Hollywood, but confessed that she resented it. This resentment was due to many factors. Firstly, it was because she started acting at 6 years old, which she was put into acting by her mom, and by 10 she was the main financial support of her family. She never wanted to be in the industry, but forced herself to continue because she felt pressured to do so for the well-being of her family. The former actress grew extremely unhappy, especially when she was at the peak of her career. When she initially made the decision to call it quits, her agents and managers said that she would be crazy to leave during such a high part in her career, but she stuck to her word and she hasn't looked back since. With the 2021 reboot of her show iCarly, she still would not get involved, which fans were genuinely surprised by. But thankfully, after announcing her retirement, she went on to become a writer and director, giving her a lot more satisfaction in her career. Taking spot number 10 on our countdown list is Gilbert Gottfried. If you've ever wondered if a tweet would be enough to end your entire Hollywood career, the answer is yes. Back in 2011, the comedian decided to send out some tweets that only he thought was funny. It was following the tragic tsunami that happened in Japan and took the lives of over 15,000 people. In the midst of it, he tweeted out a handful of insensitive jokes about it. Some of them are just a bit too risky to say here on YouTube, but one of them said, I will quote it, "I just split up with my girlfriend, but like the Japanese say, there'll be another one floating by any minute now." At the time, he was the voice of Affleck Duck and they fired him immediately, which is not shocking. He issued an apology immediately after, seeing the damage he had done, but he was instantly blacklisted from Hollywood. He now does Cameo, if you're wondering what he's up to these days, and he even has a podcast that many people didn't even know about. Moving on to number 9, we have Dani Mathers. She is known for starring on TV series like The Bold and the Beautiful and Badass, but she's mainly known for her work as a Playboy model. Unfortunately, both sides to her career came to an end after she did something very petty and disrespectful online, and then got a taste of instant karma. Back in 2016, she posted an image on her social media of a naked 70-year-old woman at the gym and captioned it, "If I can't unsee this, then you can't either." She immediately got backlash from her post because it was extremely rude and also very invasive, since the woman did not give her consent to take her nude photo and then post it. Her post resulted in her facing criminal charges, and she also got fired from her radio show and banned from all the LA fitness gyms across the US. In 2017, she faced the court and pleaded no contest to a charge of invasion of privacy. She was also charged $1,000 and was ordered to spend a month doing community service of removing graffiti around Los Angeles. Moving on to number 8 is Lance Armstrong. While he will always be known for his success as the greatest cyclist of all time, he will also be known as an athlete who lost everything due to a doping scandal. For many years, he was supported and admired for being an incredible athlete and also a cancer survivor who inspired others. Which is why it was so shocking to fans when the US Anti-Doping Agency announced that he was running the biggest doping program the sport has ever seen. Their statement read, "He ran the most sophisticated, professionalized, and successful doping program the sport has ever seen." He later ended up admitting during an interview with Oprah that he had been taking the substance, which of course is a huge no-no in sports. He was stripped from his cycling titles and dropped by all of his sponsors, including Nike Inc. and Livestrong. On top of that, he was banned from professional cycling races altogether. He ended up reaching a $5 million settlement with the government, but his career has just never been the same since. In 2020, a documentary called Lance came out on Netflix, and it does a deep dive on his career and the whole scandal. So, if you want to know the deets, go watch. In spot number 7, we have Chrissy Teigen. In recent months, she has been in the biggest scandal of her career after being accused of online bullying. It all started when Courtney Stodden accused her of bullying for years on Twitter, and then even shared screenshots of private messages and tweets of Chrissy saying very rude and inappropriate things. Some of the tweets are so bad, she was actually wishing death upon her and told her to take her own life. The tweets are from the past, but people were shocked to see them and couldn't believe that she would ever behave like that. Chrissy had to step down from her role in Never Have I Ever Season 2, where she was supposed to be the voiceover role. It was later announced that she was actually replaced with Gigi Hadid. After seeing the backlash, she publicly apologized to her fans and also Courtney, taking full responsibility for what she did. But it seems like that hasn't been enough, and even she admitted to paparazzi very recently that she could be cancelled forever. She doesn't know yet. Making her way into number 6, we have Paula Deen. For many years, she was the face of the Food Network, but then a lawsuit took the title away from her and her career collapsed in front of her. The chaos all started when another celebrity chef, Lisa Jackson, accused her of racial discrimination, claiming that she used the N-word when talking about African Americans. Lisa was actually her former general manager, so it was crazy to see someone who was once very close to her turn against her and then reveal the truth. When Paula was asked if she has ever used the N-word, her response was this, I quote, "Yes, of course, it's just what they are. They're jokes. Most jokes are about Jewish people, rednecks, black folks. I can't determine what offends another person." This was not the answer people were hoping for. I think most people expected an apology maybe, or for her to admit how disrespectful and wrong it was. But no, apparently it's jokes. Fox News then obtained quotes that she has said over her career, where she made a variety of comments that a lot of people would find offensive. Immediately, networks canceled her TV programs worldwide, and she has had to go to court to defend her case. We have made it halfway through this list, and at number 5 we have Jussie Smollett. His scandal took the world by storm in 2019 and is still ongoing to this day. On January 29th, 2019, news articles surfaced saying that he was in the hospital after being attacked by 2 men who allegedly allegedly put a rope around his neck, beat him, and then poured chemicals on him. The reports claimed that the attackers were yelling racial and homophobic slurs, so it was being treated as a hate crime. The media and his fans came together online to support him through what seemed to be this horrific incident. The two suspects were arrested, but in court, they revealed that it was actually all set up by Justy and showed a check that he paid them to stage the entire thing. On February 21st, he was arrested on suspicion of filing a false police report and was charged with 6 counts of lying to police, all of which he pleaded not guilty to. But prosecutors ended up dropping the charges, which the Chicago police were not happy with, and they argued that the actor got off scot-free. In more recent times, an investigator has been hired since then to further investigate and prosecute him, so the scandal is still not over. Rolling into spot number 4 is Tila Tequila. I have not heard of her in a long time. At one point in time though, you could find her everywhere, starring on her own reality show A Shot at Love with Tila Tequila, which ran for 2 successful seasons. I watched some of it. She got tons of attention on social media, but it started getting very negative when she started posting some very offensive things. One of them pushed her career over the edge in 2013 when she started praising Adolf and posted a rant titled, "Why I Sympathize with." If you think that's bad, it got even worse in 2016 when she and her friends posed for a photo saluting like a. Her Twitter account was suspended shortly after, and she was removed from the reality show Celebrity Big Brother. She was pretty much blacklisted in Hollywood at that point, and no one wanted to work with her for the sake of their careers. She is now a married mother of 2 and has a YouTube channel, which is also filled with very controversial and strange videos. Taking over our 3rd spot is Armie Hammer. 2020 was a rough year for the actor's career after some disturbing claims came out from his former girlfriends. The claims said that he was a cannibal and that he would take his disturbing BDSM fantasies too far in their intimate relationship. His one ex, Paige Lorenz, claimed he would tie her up, use a paddle, and leave her with bruises, bite her to a point of breaking the skin, and even carved his initials into her body during a kinky game. She described the situation as 50 Shades of Grey, but without the love. Since the claims came out, his career has taken a huge hit. He was dropped from Billion Dollar Spy, and his reputation has just been severely damaged. An investigation by the LAPD was filed against him after allegations said he had sexually assaulted some women in his past. In June of 2021, just last month, he checked himself into a treatment program, and sources say it is because he could not handle everything that has been going on. Sources say he checked into an inpatient facility for substance, alcohol, and sex issues. In our number 2 spot is Roseanne Barr. Another time that tweets ruin someone's career. I think we can all learn something from this. Maybe think before you tweet. The actress and comedian was once on top of the world with her own ABC show called Roseanne, but that all ended in May 2018. She sent out some racist tweets referring to Valerie Jarrett, who was the senior advisor to the former president Barack Obama. In her tweet, she compared Valerie to a cross between the Muslim Brotherhood and the movie Planet of the Apes. People were immediately furious and disgusted with her words, and no one thought it was funny even though she was claiming that it was a joke. After seeing the backlash she was getting, she deleted the tweet and apologized, but ABC had already cancelled her show, which was actually supposed to air that day. In interviews after that, when talking about the controversy, she still laughs it off and continues to say that it was a joke. We are at number 1 and we have Chris Brown. The singer forever changed his reputation and career back in 2009 when he faced felony charges. It's honestly hard to forget the horrible altercation that happened between he and his then girlfriend Rihanna when he was charged with felony assault. Photos surfaced at the time showing Rihanna's face all battered and bruised. He ended up pleading guilty to the charges and was sentenced to serve 5 years probation and 1,400 hours of community service. After the incident, he was very open and honest in interviews and actually admitted to punching her in the face, calling himself a monster. His career has never been the same since, but Rihanna ended up forgiving him. She originally had a restraining order against him, of course, but she later dropped that and said that the two of them are still very close friends. Starting off our list at number 10 is Billie Eilish. She is currently the world's biggest 17-year-old when it comes to stardom. The moody singer-songwriter has a reputation for making unique music videos that always go viral. She first made her name known in the music scene when she came out with the surprise hit Ocean Eyes back in 2016. scene. And even though she is one of the world's biggest pop stars right now, she often goes against that typical pop star image that you would see. She is a fan of her own passion for the art, but she is not a fan of the fame that comes with it. She beats the norm when it comes to Hollywood standards, and she has no problem sharing her thoughts about it. During interviews, she said, "Fame is horrible. It's worth it because it lets me play shows and meet people, but fame itself is effing dreadful." In another interview, she was asked what it was like taking on Hollywood at such a young age, and she replied with, "There is no training. There's no like, let me go to school that's going to teach me how to be famous. Also, that would suck. That would be a trash school. Famous people suck. Fame is trash." Damn, Billy, tell us how you really feel. In at number 9 is Amy Schumer. The comedian hates Hollywood so much she made a whole episode about the downfalls of fame. In one of her stand-up sketches, she joked about how being famous isn't fun and that she's going to pull a Justin Bieber and stop taking pictures with fans. This wasn't for no reason though, it was after a man harassed her while asking for a photo. She also went off about what it was really like to go to the Met Gala that a lot of people dream of being invited to. During an interview on the Howard Stern show, she confessed that going to the gala felt like, and I quote, "felt like punishment." When asked about the dresses, she said, "We were dressed up like a bunch of effing assholes." She explained that it feels like people doing an impression of having a conversation and that it was all very farce. Schumer even admitted to leaving the event early and said, "I left, not the second I could. I left earlier than I should have been allowed. I got to meet Beyonce and she was like, 'Is this your first gala?' And I was like, 'It's my last.'" I think it's safe to say that she probably won't be invited to the next one. Swiping our number 8 spot is Selena Gomez. Fans were shocked when she decided to cancel part of her Revival World Tour and enter treatment for depression and anxiety. She opened up to Vogue about why she checked herself into a facility in Tennessee. She said, "Tours are a really lonely place for me. My self-esteem was shot. I was depressed, anxious. Basically, I felt I wasn't good enough and wasn't capable." It's hard to believe she would feel lonely when she's constantly surrounded by millions of fans who adore her, but she said that there's social anxiety that comes with that. Along with fame in Hollywood comes social media, to which she has been named the most popular celebrity on Instagram, having a current total of 152 million followers. It's one part of Hollywood that she says is a love-hate relationship. She blames social media for her struggles with image and mental health, but also loves the platform it gives to connect with her fans. It seems like people in Hollywood are a lot lonelier than we would think. I always thought, like, how can you be lonely when there are always people around you? But it just goes to show that it roots a lot deeper than just having people physically there. Taking over our number 7 spot is Gigi Hadid. The 23-year-old is one of the biggest models on the planet, and she admits that fame hasn't been the easiest thing to take on. A few months ago in April of 2019, she spoke to Variety about her career and discussed how she's dealt with Hollywood and living life in the spotlight. She even got emotional while speaking about it and said, I quote, "At times, fame makes you feel out of control of your life. I think it's tough. Obviously people judge you. People can create a headline or an opinion about someone based on a small moment or a mistake." Back in 2017, she also spoke with Harper's Bazaar where she revealed her time in Hollywood has had a huge impact on her circle of friends. She said a lot of things in Friends come out when someone gets famous and that she has lost a lot of friends because of it. She did admit that in some way it's a good thing because you find out who your real friends are, but that fame plays an effect on every aspect of her life. When talking about her passion for modeling, she admits that she always knew she wanted to support herself and have the creative freedom she has now to shape her own life. It seems like she is grateful for that aspect, but just wishes things could be a little bit easier. At number 6 is Vanessa Hudgens. Her career began and took off with Disney, and she's fully admitted the struggles she has faced to shed that innocent Disney image that you get held above your head. Luckily, she's been able to continue an acting career, and a successful one at that. Not only did she hate the judgment she faced when moving on from Disney, but she also hates just fame in general. During an interview, she said, "I don't like the word fame. Some people like the idea of fame. I don't like the idea of fame. I like being an actress. It's different." She often tries to express the difference between wanting to be an actor and wanting to be famous. She says that people often link them together since fame just naturally comes when you are a Hollywood actor. But she once told Daily Telegraph, "I became an actress and started singing and dancing because I truly loved it. I did not want to be a celebrity. I think fame is just something that comes along when you are in something that is such a success." Like other stars on this list, she hates media and paparazzi and the fact that everyone just tries to get in your business. She says that it becomes crippling. Halfway through our list at number 5 is Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. I know they are two people, but there's no way I'm giving these twins two different spots, so they are a 2-for-1 package deal. Their fame skyrocketed in the 1990s and 2000s with their first role on the hit TV series Full House, which they were on from the time that they were literally infants. As the twins continued to grow their empire, becoming the youngest billionaires at one point in time, it was clear that they wanted to leave that Hollywood limelight. They ended up both leaving their acting careers and more recently declined to be a part of the Full House reboot. Ashley admitted that she feels uncomfortable with acting now, and Mary-Kate claimed that it was just awful timing for her. The two of them have been very vocal on how they hate the attention they get, and they do everything they can not to be in the spotlight. During an interview with Vogue, they explained that they have chosen to stay off social media all these years. Mary-Kate said, "We've spent our whole lives trying to not let people have that accessibility. It's their way of avoiding the things that they dislike about Hollywood, and it seems to be working pretty well for them." Taking the number 4 spot is Katy Perry, another star who wants success in Hollywood just without the fame. She loves creating music but is over the whole famous thing apparently. One thing the singer has strived to do is show that her life in Hollywood comes with a heavy price, and sometimes people don't want to pay for it anymore, if you know what I mean. This is why she created a full-length movie called Part of Me, which documented her entire concert tour back in 2012. She wanted people to see what it is really like to be a pop star, the good, the bad, and all the behind the scenes that actually goes into putting on those kinds of shows. When asked about her thoughts on fame, she said, "I'm tired of being famous already, but I'm not tired of creating. Fame is, I think, just a disgusting byproduct of what I do." She continues to try and show her fans that she's relatable and isn't what people think all Hollywood stars are. Alright guys, at number 3 is Lady Gaga. The star comes across confident as hell, but she has opened up about her struggles with fame and the pain Hollywood can cause. She revealed a lot of emotions with CBS Sunday Morning and said, "As soon as I go out into the world, I belong, in a way, to everyone else. It's legal to follow me, it's legal to stalk me at a beach, I can't call the police or ask them to leave." She got teary-eyed speaking on the subject and said that she has no freedom in her everyday life, but has freedom in her heart, which comes out through her music. One thing she hates the most is how everyone recognizes her in public because it has completely transformed her interactions with people. She says, "I miss people. I miss, going anywhere and meeting a random person and saying hi and having a conversation about life. I love people." I mean, what an eye-opener that is. We can literally go up to anyone on the streets and say hi, and she will literally never be able to do that ever again because she'll always be recognized as Lady Gaga. Here we are at number 2 with Sia. It's no surprise that Sia is in Hollywood, but really doesn't want to be. She wants to share her music with the world, but not her private life, not even her face. She's the first celebrity to cover her face at all times during interviews, red carpets, performances, literally everything. For years, very few people had actually seen her without a wig covering her face. At first, the world just thought it was all part of her act, maybe part of her character as an artist, but she's been open about her reasoning and says it's everything to do with hating fame. During an interview, she said, "If anyone besides famous people knew what it was like to be a famous person, they would never want to be famous. I don't want to be famous or recognizable. I don't want to be critiqued about the way that I look on the internet. I've been writing pop songs for pop stars now for a couple of years, and I've become friends with them and see what their life is like, and that's not something I want." She was very successful at hiding her image and loved that she was able to go out and do simple things like grocery shopping. No one would even know that it was Sia because no fans or media sources actually knew what she looked like. Since then, she has showed up to a few events without a wig, but still maintains a very low profile. Taking our number 1 spot is the adored Justin Bieber. Over the last few years, we've watched the pop star cancel his tour and walk away from his music career. Not only that, but he's also walked away from Hollywood as a whole. In September 2018, he announced that he was settling and living full-time in Ontario, Canada with his new wife, Hailey Baldwin. Sources say he felt that living in his home country was the right thing to do at this point in his life. This way, he doesn't feel the pressures of Hollywood and has the chance to actually have some privacy. He discussed his struggles of being in the spotlight during an NME interview, saying, "I'm struggling just to get through the day. You get lonely, when you're on the road. People see the glam and the amazing stuff, but they don't know the other side. This life can rip you apart." He went into more detail explaining the isolation of camping out in hotel rooms trying to avoid fans and paparazzi. Since moving to Canada, he has been able to focus on his mental health, which he says Hollywood once destroyed.
Number 10, Chadwick Boseman. The late, great Chadwick Boseman was not just an incredible performer, but an incredible man. In his early years of acting, no matter what his status was, he was always vocal about the things that he did not agree with or understand. During a commencement speech to the graduating class of 2018 at his alma mater, Howard University, he spoke about a time when he was fired from a show for questioning the producers about the stereotypical depiction of his character. At first he was excited, as he was promised a six-figure contract, more money than he'd ever seen in his life. However, the moment he saw the role that he was playing, he was conflicted. The role was wrapped up in assumptions about people of color. He said that the character was just a young man with a violent streak pulled into the allure of gangs and with zero glimpse of positivity or talent in the character. After filming a handful of episodes, Chadwick brought his concerns to the attention of the producers, who told him that they were very pleased with his performance, a performance that he was actually fired from the next day. Apparently, the things that he was asking caught the producers off guard. The conversation over the character actually came up when he was called into the production office, and they were very happy with what he'd been doing on the show, and it was clear they wanted him around for a long time. But when they asked him if he needed anything to be more comfortable, it was his opening. He asked them if they could just discuss his character a bit for plot purposes, asking them only two questions. Where is my father? And if my mother is not equipped to be a good parent, why did myself and my brother need to go to foster care? While the producers did have answers, when Chadwick asked if they felt that he was a stereotypical character at all, the producers stared for a moment before suggesting that he speak to the writers if he had any suggestions. The goal was to give his character a new lease on life, but the next day, he was fired for speaking his mind, something he's never regretted once, and that never stopped him from pursuing his dreams. Number 9. Sylvester Stallone. Considering the success of the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, it's difficult to imagine anyone else in the leading role of Alex Foley other than Eddie Murphy. But it turns out that at the time, the role was initially offered to one of the biggest stars of the 1980s, Sylvester Stallone. What's funny still is that at the time he was not just a skilled actor, but earning an Oscar nomination for Best Original Screenplay for Rocky. But it seems that Rocky and the studio didn't really agree on many things, and eventually Stallone was exited from the project. One of the first major changes in Sly's version of the script was the violence. He wanted it to be ramped up to 100 and make it a real action movie. But the film was presented to him as a comedy. Even though he agreed to do it, he wanted to make some changes before the cameras rolled. He was exclusively told not to change anything about the film, but he insisted and rewrote the project as a 50-50 action comedy movie. When he presented the changes to the producers, they were not pleased with his script. In fact, quite the opposite. It was quickly decided that Sylvester would be let go as the lead and Eddie Murphy would be brought in to fill in the blanks. It was not in vain, as he took that mangled script, incorporated elements of the novel Fair Game by Paula Gosling, and eventually it became the 1986 film Cobra. Although it wasn't loved by critics, it did go on to make around $160 million globally, which pretty good at the time. Number 8, Edward Norton. Three-time Academy Award nominee Edward Norton has been the leading man in many memorable movies. Primal Fear, American History X, and of course the most famous one, but as we all know, one of his most famous and mainstream roles was in the 2008 MCU flick, The Incredible Hulk. Although the movie was not a massive success at first, the audience was shocked when Edward Norton was replaced by Mark Ruffalo in the first Avengers film. The president of Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, said that the decision was not monetary, but it was actually due to the company wishing to hire an actor who embodied the creativity and collaboration that the other Marvel stars had so far shown on their projects. After Kevin made these statements, however, Norton was amicable but adamant about splitting ways with Marvel, and mentioned that his roles in Birdman and Moonrise Kingdom would oppose the loud and extravagant role that he had in the MCU. Many believe that his calm response may be because he was paid handsomely before he was let go as a little bit of hush money. Marvel is good at hiding secrets, especially from their actors, but it was still so early in the MCU that Edward was certainly aware of hidden details and events that would make him a liability in the industry. Number 7, Colin Firth. The live-action Paddington movies are surprisingly very popular. The series, based on the children's book, has really hit home for a lot of people. First and second film are currently rated at 97% and 99% fresh, respectively. 99. The success of the film can of course be attributed to the incredible cast, including the voice of Paddington, Ben Whishaw. But of course, Ben was not the first voice that had been recorded for the role. Initially, the voice of Paddington was done by Kingsman star Colin Firth. I know he's been in other things, but I love those movies and that's how I know him best. Not only did Colin record all of the lines start to finish, but he was not told that he was being replaced until a couple of months before the premiere. In some of the first promotional videos for the film, the animated bear never does anything more than grunt. It turns out that the creative team felt Colin's voice just didn't match with the vibe that they were going for. It made Paddington sound too old and distinguished when he needed to be some fresh young thing. Yeah, he was just happy to be working. Now let's get into some more dark Hollywood backstories, shall we? Number 6, Jim Carrey's origins. A Canadian legend, Jim is considered one of the greatest modern comedians of all time, famously releasing 3 films in the year 1995, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, and Ace Ventura, which all made millions at the box office, and still hold up to this day. As many know, comedians tend to have a pretty rough backstory, as the best comedy comes from a place of pain. Over the years, Jim has come clean about his strange but fun upbringing. His family struggled financially, and he grew up watching his mother struggle with depression, which he claims to have passed down to him. Despite his energy, he was a bit of a recluse growing up and apparently spent hours in his room making faces in the mirror instead of hanging out with. After dropping out of high school to work a full-time job, Jim and his family were forced to live in a Volkswagen van together, becoming homeless for a short period of time. He went on to attempt a career in comedy, at first to minimal success, but of course, he was able to find his footing and made his place in comedy history. Number 5, Woody Harrelson's father. Woody is best known in Hollywood as the wildest wild child to ever exist. He eats raw meat, he's an eco-crusader, a protester against violence, and an advocate for the legalization of herbs and spices in the United States. He's loved on screen, but did you know that his father took people out for money? And I'm not talking about on dates. Charles Harrelson was sentenced to 2 lifetime sentences for the slaying of a federal judge in San Antonio. Prior to that charge, Charles had previously been acquitted for the slaying of Alan Berg, a carpet salesman, and convicted of the slaying of Sam DeGalia Jr. Yeah, the evidence shows that Charles was not a great. Woody doesn't speak much of his father these days, opting to instead leave his family troubles in the past. He does, however, say that the one thing that his father said to him that he still uses to this day was, always keep an open mind. Yeah, Charles knew all about opening minds. You can't put that in the video, that's just for the editor.
I just did.
Number 4, Mark Wahlberg should be in jail. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch hit the rap scene in 1991. Despite sounding like the title of a cheesy kids show, the crew had a small following and garnered a lot of success, enough for leading man Mark Wahlberg to be spotted and picked up by Hollywood to star in The Corruptor, a 1999 action flick that sees Mark playing the leading man. Action by the numbers, kinda get it? He's had a successful acting career that has recently been declining in quality, but he's still acting and looks jacked at the age of 50-something. So please don't hurt me, Mark Wahlberg. Infinite was just hard to watch. Growing up in Boston, he was the youngest of 9 children and was relentlessly bullied by his fellow siblings. His parents divorced when he was very young, and he became addicted to no-no snow by the age of 13. He dropped out of high school and was eventually arrested when he was 18 for attempting to slay 2 Vietnamese men. Apparently, he was just walking home late one night under the influence of a hallucinogen narcotic that I won't get into, when he spotted the men. Close friends at the time confirmed that Mark had a racial biased upbringing, which caused him to be instantly aggressive towards anyone who, wasn't white. He attempted to swing a large log at them, which made contact and knocked one of them unconscious, and he was eventually released after serving only 45 days of his 2-year prison sentence, and he vowed to change his life. So far, he's kept that promise. I can personally confirm that he's very polite and patient because he actually watched a movie at a theater I used to work at. He travels with a crew of 5 people at all times. It's a little intimidating. Number 3, Tim Allen's hobbies. Tim Allen is the voice of Buzz Lightyear and the star of ABC's sitcom Home Improvement, which premiered in 1991. Now, while he may have played a family man on TV, many fans may not know that Tim was a smuggler of no-no snow in the early 1970s. According to Tim, he got mixed up with some bad people back in the day while he was selling certain substances on the street for a couple of bucks. In 1978, Tim was arrested in the Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport, that's an awesome name, and was caught with more than 650 grams, 1.4 pounds of no-no snow. Unfortunately for Tim, state legislators had just passed a law that tied a life sentence to any conviction of selling 650 or more. Like, as he was being arrested, there was a guy in his car like, okay, and if you have 650 grams. Okay, yeah, you're a goner, Tim. However, that sentence was never served, as it was revealed that Tim was set up by an undercover police officer who had been following him for months. Due to this, and Tim's cooperation in providing the names of fellow dealers to the authorities, led to him receiving a lighter conviction that allowed him to be sentenced in a federal court instead of a state one, being able to ignore that new policy altogether. His information led to 20 arrests and the sentencing of a major dealer. That needs to be a movie. Number 2, they have backups. There have been many rumors over the years that Hollywood likes to clone their best and brightest on the off chance that they will need them again following an untimely demise. According to the internet, Paul Rudd actually got to star alongside his clone in the show Living With Yourself, not some CGI thing. Now, Paul has, of course, claimed the performance was achieved with CGI and filming one character one day and another the next, but come on, Paul Rudd's also 54 and looks, well, like that. Something's not right about that. Now, there is a theory out there that celebrities are made up of lizard people who take the forms of actors and singers to influence people. Paul is thought to be one of those lizard people. I don't know. I don't believe this theory. I'm just sharing some stuff I found on the internet. I don't believe any of this, okay? This is fun. It would be awesome if there were 2 Paul Rudds, though. In fact, that would probably be the most chill way to find out that clones existed. Just 2 Pauls being like, hi, I'm Paul. And another one being like, hi, I'm Paul. And everything's gonna be okay. Number 1, they're all broke. That's right, despite it being one of the most lucrative industries in the world, most of Hollywood actors, writers, directors, all of them are not as well off as people may think. Unless you've been living under a rock for the last little bit, most of Hollywood was closed for a while as its staff were on strike. Some of the toppest of tier actors joined the crew in solidarity, and they are actually still on strike right now, not stopping until Hollywood's producers and big budget studios start sharing the money they make. Actor Sean Gunn gave an interview a few weeks ago where he mentioned working on a show currently streaming on Netflix, a show that has made over $4 million in residuals, of which he has received basically nothing. This type of financial woe extends to a ton of people in Hollywood. Just wanted to take a moment to wish luck to anyone who's still out there, and hey, awesome that the writer part of the strike is over. That's pretty sick.
Born Billie Eilish Pirate Baird O'Connell on December 18, 2001, she is an American singer and songwriter who has hit the big leagues at just the young age of 17. However, her following began long before. She gained a notable following in 2016 when she released her single Ocean Eyes on SoundCloud, and subsequently released on the records labels Darkroom and Interscope Records. Now, her early life consisted of homeschooling, during which time she joined the LA Children's Chorus at the age of 8. Just a few short years later, she would begin writing songs, taking after her elder brother, Phineas O'Connell, who was already writing, performing and producing his own songs with his band. More interesting still, Billie's song Ocean Eyes was actually written by Phineas for his own band. Don't know about you, but I wouldn't be too happy about that. Now, here's where things begin to get fishy. Phineas is dating YouTuber Claudia Sulewski, who looks a whole lot like Billie Eilish, which has led some fans to believe that Phineas is dating Claudia simply because she looks like his sister, especially considering how oddly close him and Billie are. Anyway, I digress. Back to Ocean Eyes. The song was released as Billie's debut single back in 2016, and the song was certified platinum not long after, peaking at number 84 on the Billboard Hot 100 in May 2019. That very same year, Billie also released the single 6 Feet Under, which didn't do as well, but was still a success for the rising star. Following the huge success of Ocean Eyes, Billie released the single Bellyache on February 24, 2017, with the single Bored coming shortly after, which was used as part of the soundtrack to the Netflix series 13 Reasons Why. However, her rise from the ashes came in 2018, arguably her biggest year, along with 2019, which saw the singer embark on the Where's My Mind tour, as well as the release of her vinyl featuring an acoustic version of her song Party Favor, as well as a cover of Drake's Hotline Bling. Now in 2019, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go was finally released on March 29, 2019, with the album debuting at number 1 on the Billboard 200 as well as on the UK Albums Chart, in turn making Billie the first artist born in the 2000s to have a number 1 album in the United States and the youngest female ever to have a number 1 album in the United Kingdom. Bold flex, big moves, nothing but respect for my queen. However, her biggest flex would come when her 5th single Bad Guy was released in conjunction with her album, and it peaked at #1 in the US, in turn ending Lil Nas X's record-breaking 19 weeks at #1 with Old Town Road. She is also the youngest artist to perform at Coachella, surpassing Lorde. Now, outside of music, Billie has a massive public image with constant media attention that tends to mostly focus on her fashion style, which consists primarily of baggy, ill-fitting clothing, very Adam Sandler-esque. Back in 2017, Billie actually addressed the attention surrounding her style choices, saying that she likes dressing out of her comfort zone to feel like she grabs the attention of everyone around her. However, in 2019, Billie also appeared in a Calvin Klein ad, wherein she mentioned that she dresses in baggy clothes in order to prevent people from body shaming her. I respect that so much. Now, in her personal life, Billie has stated that she actually has Tourette syndrome, which is a common neurodevelopment disorder characterized by multiple motor tics and at least one vocal tic. She also has synesthesia, in which people associate colors with numbers, even music. Billie also has previously stated that she was raised vegetarian and is a big advocate for veganism on social media. Now, let's jump into the meat of this video, why we're all here. The scary theory surrounding this artist. As we know, every now and then a conspiracy theory pops up that just refuses to go away. This is one of those. The Illuminati is one of the biggest theories around, with many believing that the world's most powerful people secretly control the world. Ridiculous, right? Well, according to some theorists, the latest member of the society is none other than Billie Eilish. Now, this is entirely based on the imagery used in Billie's music video, All the Good Girls Go to Hell, which strongly features apocalyptic type imagery. And ever since its release, fans have taken to Twitter to discuss how convinced they are that Billie is in the Illuminati. I quote, "So, Billie Eilish single-handedly brought the Illuminati back in 2019. And she's in the Illuminati. There's no point kicking off about it because it ain't gonna change anything. And Billie Eilish is the new face of the Illuminati. I guess. However, other folks went in a different direction with the theories, with one person stating, I quote, "All good girls go to hell and bury a friend feature satanic messages." On Reddit, people have come up with their own theories as well, specifically about how Billie may be involved with the Illuminati. Now, this theory is utterly twisted, with the theorist stating that Billie may have indirectly killed late rapper XXXTentacion, which thereby influenced the song Bury a Friend. The theory also says that in order to gain entry into the secret society, the candidate has to kill someone. So, there we go. At the end of the day, it seems like these rumors are simply that, rumors, and that Billie is likely not a part of the Illuminati, at least I don't think so anyway. After all, if the group really did exist and she actually was a member, would she make it so obvious?
Starting off this countdown, we have Meg Ryan, Dennis Quaid, and Russell Crowe. Meg Ryan was married to Dennis Quaid for 9 years until she decided to cheat on him with Russell Crowe. This happened while filming the movie Proof of Life with Russell in Ecuador. Somehow, news got out about Ryan and Crowe, and Quaid soon filed for divorce. But Ryan turned it around, saying that the divorce was all Quaid's fault, and that he had also been unfaithful during their marriage. In the end, Ryan lost Crowe and Quaid, and the movie tanked in the box office. So, maybe that's karma. Moving on to number 9, we have Aaron Carter, Hilary Duff, and Lindsay Lohan. Back in the early 2000s, Aaron Carter was quite the heartthrob and ladies' man, catching the hearts of fans and celebrities all around the world. Well, Aaron met Hilary when he guest starred in the Lizzie McGuire Christmas special. If you guys remember that, smash that like button, because I do. Then on his 13th birthday, the pair officially began dating. They were together for almost 2 years when he cheated on her with Lindsay Lohan. In fact, he was two-timing her, so he was dating Lindsay and Hilary at the same time. Now, this is what Aaron had to say. I started dating Hilary on my 13th birthday. I was dating her for like a year and a half, and then I just got a little bored. So I went and I started getting to know Lindsay, dating Lindsay. Then I didn't want to do that anymore, so I got back with Hilary. And then I ended up cheating on Hilary with her best friend. That's nothing to smile about, she wasn't even that good looking either. End of quote. I didn't just add that in, he also said that. So he literally got bored and was like, sure, let's fool around with other women. Jeez, Aaron. In our 8th spot today, we have Laura Dern, Billy Bob Thornton, and Angelina Jolie. Honestly, people might hate me for saying this, but Billy Bob Thornton and Angelina Jolie were a hot couple. I'm sorry. Well, Laura Dern and Billy Bob started dating in 1997 while on the set of Ellen. The couple dated for 3 years and even were engaged. But in 1999, he called it quits, and a year later, he married Angelina Jolie. That one's gotta hurt.
According to Dern, she said, and I quote, "I left our home to work on a movie, and while I was away, my boyfriend got married, and I've never heard from him again." That is very harsh. Moving on to number 7, we have Alex Rodriguez, Kate Hudson, and Cameron Diaz. Now this dude has dated all the stars, I swear, like Madonna, J-Lo, come on now. Anyways, Kate Hudson and A-Rod dated for 7 months before calling it quits in December of 2009. Just a few months later, Cameron Diaz was seen leaving his house with overnight bags. You guys know what that means. And according to sources, Hudson was not happy with this at all. Maybe this was payback for Hudson hooking up with Cameron's ex-boyfriend, Justin Timberlake, shortly after they broke up. Who knows? But in 2012, it seems like they got over this drama because they were quite chummy with each other at the Academy Awards. In 2013, Diaz referred to Hudson as one of her good friends. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with Sophia Bush, Chad Michael Murray, and Paris Hilton. Now, Chad Michael Murray is one fine man, okay? Let me just say that. And I did not know that he got together with Paris Hilton. Okay, I don't know, I just can't picture them together, you know? But I guess opposites attract. One Tree Hill stars Sophia and Chad ended up having chemistry on and off screen. In December of 2005, they actually got married, but the marriage was very short-lived. 5 months later, they separated. And apparently, Chad was spotted with Paris Hilton. Now, this is where it gets messy. So at the time the two allegedly got together, Paris was dating Nick Carter. Nick's younger brother, Aaron Carter, eventually spilled the tea, saying that Paris cheated on his brother with Chad Michael Murray. So they both cheated on their partners. A year later, Sophia and Chad filed for divorce. In our 4th spot, we have Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, and Rupert Sanders. Now, I don't know if you remember when this drama came out, but I do. And that's because I was a hardcore Twilight fan, and I shipped Kristen and Robert to the moon and back. When I heard she cheated on him, I was so mad at her. Like, she doesn't even know who I was, but I was mad. Anyways, while filming Snow White and the Huntsman, Kristen got with the director Rupert Sanders, and the two were caught kissing in public. Kristen was dating Robert at the time, and Rupert was married to Liberty Ross. Rob and Kristen separated for a bit, then got back together again, only to break up again in 2013, whereas Rupert's wife filed for divorce in 2013. In our 3rd spot today, we have David Spade, Laura Flynn Boyle, and Jack Nicholson. This is a very odd trio, but apparently Jack Nicholson stole David Spade's girlfriend, Laura Flynn Boyle, from him in 1999. According to him, that's what happened. They had been dating for a year when Jack literally asked her out in front of David. Now, David got all defensive, being like, "I know you're gonna go out with him anyway." And she was like, "No way, he's worse than Trump." Like, no lie, that's what she said. But in the end, the two were spotted together. Actually, they got in a car crash together, and apparently Boyle climbed out of the sunroof and yelled, "I have a boyfriend, I can't be here." But she was caught, like literally red-handed. In our 3rd spot today, we have Bella Thorne, her brother, and another Bella. Bella Thorne's brother, Remy Thorne, was dating a girl named Bella Pendergast for 3 years. The pair broke up around 2015. Bella Thorne was dating Greg Sulkin, and when she broke up, she quickly came out as bisexual on her Twitter. A little while later, she was spotted with her brother's ex being a little too close. They shared a number of photos holding hands and kissing, and people were like, is she seriously dating her brother's ex? And yes, the answer is yes, she did. But shortly after, Bella Thorne decided to go after Greg Sulkin's friend, Tyler Posey. Then a month later, she dumped him and was with Charlie Puth. And don't get me started with the whole Tana Modson relationship, okay? That's a whole other mess on its own. And in our number 1 spot today, we have Olivia Wilde, Jason Sudeikis, and Harry Styles. Now, I must be living under a bus because I love Jason Sudeikis, but I did not know that he was engaged to Olivia Wilde. The pair first met in 2011 and began dating a few months later. In 2012, they got engaged, and in 2014 and 2016, they gave birth to 2 children. But in 2020, the pair announced that they had split. A few months later, Olivia was spotted with Harry Styles after attending a wedding together. They both met during the movie Don't Worry Darling, and some believe that Styles might be one of the reasons as to why the two split. One source said, and I quote, "Olivia called off the engagement in early November, but only after she had already gotten close to Harry." The source continued on saying, "Whether Harry knows it or not, He was the reason for the split, and it blindsided Jason.
Alright, some of these plastic surgery results are absolutely shocking. First off, we have Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan, who's known for her sweet, innocent look, unveiled a dramatically different look in recent years. Ryan appeared in various rom-coms and series in the 80s and 90s that matched her bubbly personality. It was a time that demonstrated her external and internal beauty. However, female heroine roles eluded the actress in recent years. She decided to go for the classic Real Housewives of Beverly Hills look and change the natural grace that she had during her prime. Her new appearance sparked debates among fans and the general audience about whether she got work done. The most obvious thing Meg Ryan got done is cheek filler or fat transfer to her cheeks, doctors say. When she smiles, the filler seems to move up, making her eyes look smaller, one doctor said. Surgeons believe Meg may have had too much Botox on her forehead, which dropped to the brows during time. As a result, her eyes looking smaller. Although she still looks absolutely beautiful, it is safe to say everybody misses her cute innocence from the 80s and 90s. Next up, we have Mickey Rourke. This American actor first appeared in Body Heat in 1981 before showing his acting prowess in his preceding films. It's nothing new to compare Rourke's work with the likes of James Dean, even Robert De Niro. His re-emergence in the 2000s with prominent roles Sin City 2005 and The Wrestler in 2008 solidified his status in Hollywood. Plus, he was once known as one of the film industry's most handsome stars. Unfortunately, plastic surgery made his career dwindle. With his bad boy persona in 80s cinema, a botched plastic surgery changed the public's perception of him. The general audience argues that he had cheek and maybe chin implants. He lost his original tough guy packaging after the surgeries. In 2009, Rourke admitted that his looks did change because of botched plastic surgery. He said most of it was done to mend his boxing injuries. However, he went to the wrong guy to put his face back together, resulting in an extremely changed look. Next up, we have Madonna. At the 2023 Grammys, Madonna revealed her new look, and fans were, let's just say, confused. Some calling her a quote alien trying to blend in as a human, and others blatantly calling her quote hideous. 2 days after the Grammys, Madonna slammed people who chose to focus on her looks instead of the speech she gave before the historic performance she introduced. Sam Smith and Kim Petras were the stars that she was introducing that night. Instead of focusing on what I said in my speech, which was about giving thanks for the fearlessness of artists like Sam and Kim, many people chose to only talk about close-up photos of me taken with a long lens camera by a press photographer that would distort anybody's face, she captioned an Instagram video on February 7th. The pop icon went on to say that she is once again caught in the glare of ageism and misogyny that permeates the world we live in. Madonna says this world does not, quote, celebrate women past the age of 45 and will punish her if she continues to be strong-willed, hardworking, and adventurous. I have never apologized for any of the creative choices I've made, nor the way that I look or dress, and I'm not going to start today, the 7-time Grammy winner continued. I have been degraded by the media since the beginning of my career, but I understand that this is all a test, and I'm happy to do the trailblazing so that all the women behind me can have an easier time in the years to come. In the words of Beyonce, you won't break my soul. Next up, we have Miss Ariana Grande. Now, this one is not as noticeable as the other celebs we talked about, but fans are still wondering what happened to her face. YouTube videos went viral in 2023 and 2022 titled, quote, what happened to Ariana's face and Ariana's eyes are weird. Here's what we know about Ariana Grande's alleged plastic surgery. 1. A nose job. Ariana Grande allegedly had a rhinoplasty procedure to reduce her nose size and shape it more naturally. This is one of the most common types of rhinoplasty procedures performed on celebrities because it gives them an instantly slimmer face, which makes them appear younger than their actual age. Number 2. Surgeons think she's had a brow lift. According to sources close to Ariana Grande, it is true that she has undergone a brow lift surgery. That is in order to eliminate the sagging skin under her eyes and make her look more youthful. It can do that by helping you look less tired or stressed out while also removing that angry look from your face. Number 3, surgeons think that she has had a facelift in recent years. Another common procedure that many stars go through is facial rejuvenation with fillers such as Botox injections. It helps prevent wrinkles from forming around their eyes or mouth area over time due to their age. Ariana even got emotional in a video posted on Vogue's YouTube channel recently, where she actually admits she no longer continues the Botox treatment and she felt like she was, quote, hiding herself under all those cosmetic procedures. Next up, we have the late Joan Rivers. In 2010, at 23 years old, Rivers revealed that she underwent 10 cosmetic procedures in one day, including a chin reduction, brow lift, and Botox injections. This beloved American comedian, host, and actress paved her way into stardom with her natural beauty. However, it comes as no surprise when plastic surgery enters the equation of a celebrity's life. She has had multiple procedures like facelifts, neck lifts, to name a few. In an interview with her husband Spencer Pratt, she said that she was too young to make life-changing decisions. She said she was under so much pressure from what she saw on the internet, it made her do these surgeries. But Joan Rivers said that everybody should take plastic surgery seriously. For her, the recovery was devastating. Her heart even stopped for a bit, which made her more transparent about all the work that she has gotten done. Next up, we have Jocelyn Wildenstein, a Swiss socialite formerly married to billionaire Alec Wildenstein. When in 1999 Alec filed for divorce, she reportedly spent $4 million on various surgeries. She denies having excessive plastic surgery, citing it's just her Swiss heritage, but admitted to one surgery to make her eyes more cat-like. According to her ex, Alec Wildenstein, she was thinking that she could fix her face like a piece of furniture. Skin does not work that way, he says. Wildenstein claims that she has not had any income at all for the last 8 years after her ex-husband's former family cut her off from her $100 million annual divorce settlement payments. The Swiss-born socialite decided to make a 2-part docuseries and potential TV show produced by the team behind the hit Keeping Up with the Kardashians because all her money's gone. I have a huge problem with my settlement, she told The Telegraph at the luxurious Mayborn Hotel in LA. Since 8 years, they have completely cut me off, she says. Wildenstein, now 82, rose to fame in the 1990s during her high-profile divorce from her art-dealing husband, Alec Wildenstein, from which she received a whopping $2.5 billion in the settlement and $100 million each year afterwards. Next up, we have Miss Donatella Versace. Her designs for Versace may spark 1,000 copycats, but there's no danger of women following suit when it comes to her new face. 20 years ago, the fashion guru had naturally full lips and very smooth skin, but as she stepped out 10 years ago in 2014 for the first time since major surgeries, her face was striking for all the wrong reasons. Users on Reddit have shared their opinions, and some of these comments are not the nicest, let's just say. Why is her face slick like Vaseline? She looks like a Muppet. And why does she look extraterrestrial? Are some of the top comments on the thread. Next up, we have Zac Efron. Considering that Zac Efron has literally grown up on screen, his fans are pretty familiar with his famous good looks. From his wholesome start as a teen star in High School Musical, through his recent dramatic turn in The Iron Claw, audiences have seen him through a variety of stages. When the heartthrob started looking noticeably different in recent years, they were understandably curious. Thankfully, there's no speculation necessary. Efron himself has been fairly candid about what has led to the transformation in his appearance. Zac Efron's famous face does look a bit different nowadays. The former Disney star revealed that he did have to undergo some medical procedures, but not for the cosmetic reasons some people might assume. In a 2022 interview with Men's Health, the actor revealed that his enlarged jawline was actually due to an old injury. While running in socks in his home in 2013, Efron slipped and smashed his chin against the granite corner of a fountain. The injury was so severe he lost consciousness, and when he woke up, his chin bone was hanging off his face. As for how the 2013 injury impacted his appearance so many years later, he explained to Men's Health that it related to his masseter muscles overcompensating for the injured muscles in his face, combined with his temporary failure to continue physical therapy. Our next celebrity is Miss Dolly Parton. Dolly is a country music legend known for hits like I Will Always Love You and 9 to 5, but she's equally known for her plastic assets as well. One of the first times she admitted to getting work done was in 1977 in an interview with Barbara Walters. But honestly, Dolly, we love you and you look great. Our final celebrity today is Kylie Jenner. Since her initial debut on reality television, Kylie Jenner has undergone a significant, very dramatic shift from her lips to even her skin tone. Her latest new image, however, showcases a larger butt and a smaller waist. Most likely, a Brazilian butt lift or buttock implants were used to achieve the new look. To create a lower waist and a bumpier back, the Brazilian butt lift combines severe body sculpting with liposuction. For reference, a BBL employs liposuction to remove fat from other parts of the body, in other words, moving things around. Often the fat on the stomach or thighs is sucked out and injected into the buttocks. In a recent episode of the family show The Kardashians, Kylie said she would reverse the decision to get plastic surgery if she could. "I wish I never got it done to begin with," she told her BFF. "I recommend anyone thinking about it to wait after having children." She went on to say that her daughter Stormy, 5 years old, helped her keep things in perspective. "Obviously I have a daughter too. I'd be heartbroken if she wanted to get her body done at 19, like Kylie did. She's the most beautiful thing ever."
And at number 10, Paul Stanley. The Kiss frontman looks very different now than when the band was in its height, and people think the change is due to cosmetic procedures. It's rumored that he had a nose job, facelift, along with other fillers and Botox. Some evidence also suggests he may have underwent an eyebrow lift and a lip job. Stanley is only admitted to one procedure, and that was an ear reconstructive surgery. He got this because he was born with a condition, microtia, which caused him to not have a right ear. While speaking with SiriusXM's Jim and Sam video interviews, Stanley also admitted to having his rotator cuffs repaired, along with a hip replacement and cartilage repaired in his knees, but nothing related to his appearance. And at number 9, Michaela Romanini. For many years, she was one of Italy's biggest stars and was titled one of the most beautiful women in the country, but after getting many cosmetic procedures, she was left looking completely unrecognizable from her former self. We're not sure exactly what procedures that she's gotten, but it's clear her lips, eyes, and skin look drastically different. Some media outlets even say she looks like an alien. But even with all the criticism around her looks, she apparently does not regret any of her procedures. Some reports even claim she is now addicted to surgery, specifically lip collagen injections. And at number 8, Kenny Rogers. The late Kenny Rogers decided to undergo cosmetic surgery, and it changed his appearance so drastically that it really hurt his confidence. He told CBS host Gayle King in 2012, quote, "I was trying to hide myself. I had the money to do it and I had time off. It was one of those things that I think everybody's like, you look at yourself and you go, could I be better if I did this or I did that?" Adding that he regrets doing anything, and he is always very curious as to what he would have looked like without it. He also said that the changes in his appearance did not affect his music or singing voice, but rather his confidence to get on stage and make music. He even cancelled some shows during his 2018 farewell tour because he was battling health challenges, which some speculated was due to the surgeries. His worst procedure was a botched eyelid lift. He said about the procedure in 2006, quote, "I'm not happy about it. It drives me crazy." And at number 7, Joan Rivers. The late Joan Rivers is a comedy legend, and she's been very open about the countless cosmetic procedures she underwent through the years. Just some of the procedures that she's admitted to include a facelift, neck lift, and eyelid surgery. However, she passed away at the age of 81 due to complications with a cosmetic procedure. Her daughter Melissa spoke about the tragedy in a memoir that she wrote about her mother called The Book of Joan: Tales of Mirth, Mischief, and Manipulation. In the book, Melissa states that Joan received 348 cosmetic procedures over her lifetime because she was always insecure about her looks. Melissa also appeared on the Today Show and spoke about her mother's tragic death following complications during a throat surgery, saying, quote, "In my opinion, it was 100% preventable." Melissa actually filed a lawsuit against the clinic, saying they were not prepared and very unprofessional. And at number 6, Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley has no signs of aging on her face, even though she is 76 years old. But she does look completely unrecognizable from her former self. Some say this is due to botched procedures over the years. A few years back, she revealed that low-grade silicone was injected into her face, the type that mechanics use to grease car parts. This was done by fraudulent doctor, Dr. Daniel Serrano, who was later sent to prison for his illegal tactics. A rep for Priscilla said, quote, "Priscilla Presley was one of many documented victims of Dr. Serrano. An investigation which uncovered his misconduct ultimately led to his imprisonment. Ms. Presley dealt with this matter years ago and everything is now well." However, one doctor does not think the botched injections explain her puffy, waxy face, and he insisted that this is due to repeated laser treatments and Botox. One commenter wrote about her look, quote, "What has Priscilla Presley done to her face? It looks like she has a scary mask on." Halfway number 5, Jackie Stallone. The late mother of A-list actor Sylvester Stallone revealed that she had many plastic surgery regrets in a 2013 interview. When asked if she had had work done, she said, quote, "I do, and actually I've gotten too much. I look like I've got a mouthful of nuts. It's Juvederm, too much of it. I feel as though I look like a chipmunk." She continued, "Juvederm plumps you up here," pointing at her cheeks, "but it looks like you have a mouthful of walnuts." She then explained that she's had about 3 chemical peels and about 50 injections over her lifetime. She revealed that she had never tried Botox because naturally she did not have wrinkles in her forehead. Jackie claims that she believes in plastic surgery, but thinks that Beverly Hills doctors are overrated hacks, saying that she went to other states to have work done because she doesn't trust Beverly Hills surgeons. And at number 4, Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell shocked fans when he appeared at the red carpet for the America's Got Talent quarterfinals looking totally unrecognizable. His face was discussed at length in the media, and on the Absolute Radio Breakfast show, Dave Barry said, quote, "I remember Simon Cowell when he had his first face. I've known him a long time. The current one is a bit Slipknot. It's actually quite terrifying," with the host noting that his surgery was probably done in the dark if it came out that badly, and that a man with his money should have gotten the best surgeon in the world. After stepping out, Dr. Naila Raja, a leading cosmetic doctor, said that he had gone a bit overboard with the Botox, adding quote, "I suspect Simon's fallen complexion is a combination of weight loss and also too much Botox." And at number 3, Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian is the sister that gets the most flack for her cosmetic enhancements, because it seems like she looks different every week. While speaking about rumors about her plastic surgery, she told host Andy Cohen that she's had one nose job, along with fillers, but not Botox. Years earlier on her talk show Cocktails with Khloe, she also admitted to having facial fillers dissolved, saying, quote, "My face was so messed up I had to go and get this whole thing dissolved. It was a bummer and now I'm afraid to do it again, and I'm almost like, I swear things are still in my face." Although people don't believe she hasn't touched fillers because her face has changed dramatically since then. And at number 2, Lisa Rinna. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star is known for her signature pout that she achieved through the help of fillers, but she's gotten some other procedures that she's regretted. Apparently after she tried Botox she was totally botched. Lisa said that she got Botox in her cheeks because all of her friends were getting it done and she wanted to try it out for herself. But after the procedure was done, Lisa said, quote, "I saw a photo and I was like, oh Jesus, that's not good, that is not good." But after that experience, she's learned that less is more, saying that she still likes Botox, but won't do anything that changes the shape of her face. And finally at number 1, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is my queen and I love her so much, but it's clear to her fans that she's changed a lot over the years, and she's been vocal that the changes are due to cosmetic enhancements. She told CBS Sunday Morning in 2019, quote, "It's true that I look artificial, but I believe that I'm totally real. My look is really based on a country girl's idea of glam. I wasn't naturally pretty, so I make the most of anything I've got." Dolly's admitted to many procedures, including a facelift, eye surgery, breast implants, liposuction, excess skin removal, lip injections, Botox, and more. Dolly also looks phenomenal at her age of 75 and says that she will look as young as her plastic surgeons allow. And at number 10, Dorit Kemsley. Dorit Kemsley has starred on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills since season 7, and her face has changed considerably since she's been in the spotlight. If you look even further back, Dorit looks unrecognizable from her younger self, leading many to believe she's had lots of cosmetic enhancements. Dorit addressed these rumors in a recent Instagram AMA. When asked if she'd ever had plastic surgery, she responded, quote, "The only plastic surgery that I've had done is my boobs. It drives me crazy when people say I've had plastic surgery on my face. I've done filler and Botox and I work with masterful makeup artists who can transform your face." She has also addressed this topic in multiple reunions for the show. In last year's reunion, she said she thinks it's comical when people claim that she's had a facelift or a bunch of surgeries. She also revealed in this year's reunion that she's never had a nose job. But honestly, a lot of fans do not believe her. And at number 9, Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox was at the center of plastic surgery rumors when she all of a sudden looked unrecognizable from her former self. Courtney addressed the rumors and revealed that she did not have plastic surgery, but she did get fillers and Botox every now and then, which led to layers and layers of changes that she just didn't like. Cox told New Beauty, quote, "I've had all my fillers dissolved. I'm as natural as I can be. I feel better because I look like myself. I think that I now look more like the person that I was. I hope I do. And at number 8, Janice Dickinson. Janice Dickinson has been deemed the world's first supermodel, starting her career very early, then transitioning into reality TV and publishing. But as she got older, her looks changed in ways that she didn't like, and she started to get procedures to stay younger. She admitted that she got her first cosmetic procedure at the age of 33. In an interview with ABC News, Janice revealed all her procedures. Quote, brow lift, yes, I've had my brow lifted. She said I was getting a bit of sag coming down my face, so I lifted them up. Yes, I've had collagen put in, injections. It's for the fine lines on the face. Because of all her cosmetic work, she looks unrecognizable from who we knew in her modeling days. And at number 7, Melanie Griffith. Melanie Griffith says she didn't realize how much she had changed from her cosmetic enhancements until she heard what fans were saying about her appearance. She said, quote, I didn't realize until people started saying, oh my god, what has she done? I was so hurt I went to a different doctor and he started dissolving all of the shit this other woman doctor had put in. Hopefully I look more normal now. Melanie also spoke about how her many divorces and substance abuse affected not only her life but her appearance as well. But following her split from Antonio Banderas, she says she's in a healthy place and is hanging out with her girlfriends. And at number 6, Tara Reid. Tara Reid underwent multiple plastic surgeries after she starred a few hit movies, including American Pie and the Pussycat Dolls. In 2004, after many of the surgeries were botched, she was forced to undergo corrective surgeries in 2007. She told Us Weekly, quote, I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work. After the botched surgery, she was unable to land the same high caliber projects that she had once before, and she was only considered for spoof movies like Sharknado. She told People in 2008, quote, in my American Pie days, everyone was kissing my butt. I didn't realize how good I had it. Now she's terrified of ever getting surgery or cosmetic enhancements again. Halfway number 5, Reed Ewig. While Modern Family actor Reed Ewig was suffering from body dysmorphia, he underwent several cosmetic procedures, all of which he regrets. He told the Huffington Post that after all the swelling from the surgeries went down, the results were not all what he expected, adding, quote, I vowed I would never get cosmetic surgery again, even though I was still deeply insecure about my looks. It took me about 6 months before I was comfortable with people even looking at me. I wish I could go back and undo all the surgeries. While he was recovering, he decided to take some time away from acting. And at number 4, Jennifer Grey. The legendary Dirty Dancing star was known for her unique nose that really made her stand out from the crowd. However, in 1989, after she became a huge star, she decided to get a nose job and made her nose look like every other big star, and sadly her career shrank alongside her small nose. The nose job was pretty minor, but because her nose was so distinct before, it made her completely unrecognizable. She said about the regrettable procedure, quote, I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. And because nobody recognized her, she didn't have the star power the movies were looking for, and she stopped landing roles as a result. And at number 3, Rumor Willis. After Rumor stepped out looking very different from her usual self, fans speculated that she went under the knife. It was rumored that she received a nose job, reduced her chin, and had lip injections. It's not a stretch to assume that she's had work done, as Rumors admitted she supports plastic surgery and would be open if she went that route. She said, quote, in Hollywood I feel like there's a big stigma about hiding things, but people aren't stupid. If all of a sudden you jump from being an A cup to like double D's, people know. I just think you have to be who you are and own it, and not be ashamed to feel like you have to apologize. Rumors also opened up about feeling pressure from social media to change her looks because people are more vocal behind a computer screen. And at number 2, Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne was first known to the world as a Disney star on the show Shake It Up. But as she grew older, she changed more than what was possible naturally. Bella's been accused of having a nose job, boob job, and getting lip filler. It's speculated that she had her first lip injection when she was just 16 and had a rhinoplasty the following year. As for breast implants, one source claims she went from a 34A to a 34D. Bella has not commented directly on these surgery accusations, but from the changes it's assumed that she is not au naturel. And finally, number 1, Charlotte Crosby. The Geordie Shore star has been getting surgery ever since she got on TV and has changed drastically. It's at the point where some fans are worried she actually has a surgery addiction. Charlotte openly admitted that she'd had a nose job back in 2016. She also admits to getting lip filler once a year and getting a boob job to correct a medical condition she was born with that gave her a quote uniboob. The first cosmetic enhancement she received was a tattoo on her eyebrow so she wouldn't need to fill them in. At first, Charlotte hid her rhinoplasty from fans, but weeks later she posted a YouTube vlog about the entire process. After she posted photos from a holiday she took to Brazil, the comments accused her of getting more work done. One comment said, she should have stopped with the surgery, Botox, and fillers a long time ago. Another person wrote, poor girl, her face is badly swollen, is it an allergy? And at number 10, Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne has been very open about her use of cosmetic procedures over the years. She even revealed in a 2013 memoir that she was done with surgery altogether, but that went out the window in 2019 when she revealed that she got another facelift, making it her 4th ever. Sharon is no stranger to cosmetic procedures. In 1999, she lost over 100 pounds after she underwent gastric bypass surgery. She also spent $120,000 on a facelift, tummy tuck, eye lift, abdominoplasty, liposuction, and Botox as well. In 2007, Sharon admitted that at that time, she had spent roughly $530,000 on cosmetic procedures in total. She's openly said in the past, quote, "There's not much I haven't tweaked, stretched, peeled, lasered, veneered, enhanced, or removed altogether." And of course, all her procedures have changed her appearance drastically. And at number 9, Julie Chen. Julie Chen is known as the host of the hit show Big Brother. She revealed to The Talk in 2013 that in the start of her career she decided to have eye surgery that would make her eyes appear larger. Apparently when she was starting out she wasn't able to get an agent because they said her Asian eyes did not look good on TV. This pushed her to get an eyelid surgery, which she does not regret. When speaking about the procedure, she said, quote, "No one's more proud of being Chinese than I am. Every decision I've made, it got me to where I am today, and I'm not going to look back." And at number 8, Heidi Montag. The reality star went from girl next door to Hollywood Barbie after she got a number of plastic surgery procedures that made her unrecognizable. She even risked her life to have 10 procedures in one single day. Just some of the procedures that she underwent were a brow lift, a nose job, lipo on her stomach and thighs, and a butt augmentation. But after all her surgeries, she revealed that she regrets the decision, and she ended up having health problems because of all the stress to her body. She told Us Weekly in 2013, quote, "I just didn't realize what I was really signing up for. It just sounds so minor when you have a surgeon describing so much of it to you, like okay, great, a little of this, a little of that. You're not told the recovery time and the mental strain it will put on you and the long term." And at number 7, Kylie Jenner. Anyone with eyes can see that Kylie Jenner has had a dramatic change in her appearance over the last few years, and it seems that she has underwent cosmetic procedures in an attempt to look more like her sister Kim. In 2016, after months of denying, she finally revealed that she received lip fillers. She even revealed to Allure that at one point she regretted her full lips. She told her sister Kim, quote, "Well, I definitely made my lips a little too big at one point," adding, "Thank God I didn't end up on botched." Kylie has not admitted to any other procedures, but it's widely speculated that she's gotten filler in her cheeks and chin, along with a Brazilian butt lift and breast implants. And at number 6, Katie Price. British model Katie Price has been open about her many plastic surgery procedures that have changed her face considerably over the years, but she recently revealed that she regrets a lot of it, and at one point she felt like a monster. Katie has told media outlets that she received a full body liposuction under her chin, and fat injected into her bum. Apparently after one round of procedures, she was told she needed a blood transfusion, but she was too scared of getting COVID to get one. At one point she was regretting it all, asking herself, "What the F have I done? Honestly, I've gone to hell and back, it was horrific. Oh my god, I look like a monster out of a horror movie." She also revealed that she lost count of how many boob jobs that she's had over the years, saying it's around 12. Katie said she was all natural until she turned 30, now she has almost everything done. Halfway at number 5, Nikki Cox. Actress Nikki Cox was one of the hottest stars in TV in the late 1990s and early 2000s, but her career faded after some botched cosmetic procedures. The biggest difference seems to be her large lips and tight face. Some paparazzi photos of her were leaked in 2013, showing her looking much different than the woman that we had seen on screen, and many outlets called her botched and unrecognizable. One plastic surgeon gave his opinion on her look. He speculated that she didn't go under the knife, but claimed her shocking look is due to botched filler. And at number 4, Donatella Versace. Donatella got her fame through running high-end fashion brand Versace with her late brother Gianni, and in the decades since she's been a public figure, her face has changed considerably, most would say for the worse. Over time, she's become unrecognizable, with her nose and lips changing the most. It's gotten so bad that Donatella has landed herself on pretty much every worst plastic surgery list that there is. Donatella has only admitted to getting Botox, nothing more, so she hasn't admitted to regretting any of her procedures. When asked about her different look, she said, quote, "I'm not like this genetically, I use tons of cream and take care of my hair and skin." And at number 3, Ronnie Ortiz Magro. Back in the day, the men of Jersey Shore were known for their chiseled abs and tan skin, but as time has gone on, the men have not been able to keep up with their strict diet and workout regimen, and they've lost the six-packs that they were known for. In 2019, Ronnie revealed he underwent liposuction to enhance his six-pack after welcoming his daughter Ariana the year before. While he was on the show called The Doctors, he said, quote, "A year ago to the day, my life completely changed. I had a little baby girl, she's like my guardian angel, and now I can't spend 2 or 3 hours in the gym every day like I used to. The procedure was a laser high-definition liposuction of the abdomen, which defined the area around his six-pack. And at number 2, Dolores Catania. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star went through multiple plastic surgeries since she became a star. She admitted to getting tummy tuck surgery, breast augmentation, facelift, liposuction, and a Brazilian butt lift. She revealed it actually put a strain on her relationship because her boyfriend did not support it at first. On the Getting Real with the Housewives podcast, she said, quote, "He was really angry. He was so mad at me and he didn't let up on it. I let him be mad for a little while and then I had to say, listen, you either live with it or we just have to move on." And finally at number 1, Larissa Dos Santos Lima. The 90 Day Fiancé star revealed an entirely new look in September of 2020 after she allegedly spent $72,000 on cosmetic enhancements. These procedures included a nose job, liposuction, and breast and butt augmentation. She spoke about the procedures on an episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, where she said, quote, "I lose weight, I did butt to make it bigger, I did Botox, I did my nose, I did my lips, I did my cheekbones, I did my chin. I am a new woman and I feel very happy." With all the cosmetic enhancements, she looks unrecognizable from how she looked before the show.
At number 10, Amanda Lepore. American model and socialite Amanda Lepore is one person who isn't shy at all about the plastic surgery procedures that she has had and how much she's changed with each surgery. The transgender model, performer, and now author, who made a name for herself in Hollywood by just being herself, altered a lot of her body over the years, and she's even claimed to have the most expensive body on earth due to all of her surgeries. She's written and talked about all of the procedures that she's had done, and because it is such a long list, you can see how her looks have evolved so much over the years. She's had a nose job, her hairline lowered, her eyebrows lifted, double eyelid surgery, cheekbone, lip, and breast augmentation, gender confirmation surgery, hormones, and she even had her ribs broken and reshaped to alter the size of her waist. She even got botched once when she got silicone lip injections because she got too much filler and her lips got way too big for her liking and she looked so different. Because she said that she got them done about 20 times and went a little overboard, she had to get them reduced because they just got way too big. She's happy with the way that she looks and she likes to evolve her appearance, so I love that for her. I really do.
And at number 9, Jessica Simpson. Throughout her career, Jessica Simpson has changed a lot, at some points looking unrecognizable from her former self. Many credited the change in her appearance to simple weight gain, while others speculated she got cosmetic work done. Well, she just exposed the truth on Instagram, revealing that she was suffering with alcoholism that caused a dramatic change in her appearance. In the long caption, she describes how she looked unrecognizable during her battle with alcoholism. In the photo, her face looks incredibly puffy and inflamed. She explained the photo was from 2017 at the height of her addiction. She said in part, quote, "This person in the early morning of November 1st is an unrecognizable version of myself. I had so much self-discovery to unlock and explore." Jessica also admitted in her 2020 memoir called Open Book that she had 2 tummy tucks in 2015 to get rid of loose skin from back-to-back pregnancies. She got an infection after the second procedure and was in the hospital for 9 days to recover.
At number 8, Farrah Abraham. Teen Mom star Farrah Abraham has been pretty open about her cosmetic procedures and has been under the knife a number of times, but it just takes that one horrible moment to make you rethink all of your plastic surgery choices. You might have seen the infamous photo of Farrah Abraham's botched lip procedure, where she looks nothing like herself. But let me tell you how she got in that mess in the first place. In 2015, the reality star opened up in an interview where she spoke out about how she had a negative experience when she went under the knife for an experimental lip implant procedure. Farrah said that when she got the procedure done, she knew right away that something wasn't right when the anesthesia wasn't working for her. She didn't think too much of it at the time, but as it would turn out, she should have said something to the doctor sooner. After the procedure was done and the implant was put in, that's when things went from bad to worse. Turns out Farrah had a really intense reaction to something during the procedure that caused her lip to swell up like crazy, leading to those crazy photos. Luckily, she was able to get things sorted out and her lip went back to normal, but she did say that it was a really scary experience for her and she thought that she would never look like herself again.
And at number 7, Christina Aguilera Aguilera. In 2018, Christina stepped out with an entirely new appearance, which got fans talking. Her face looked very puffy and swollen, possibly from getting too much filler. Surgeons and fans had tons of reactions to her new look. One plastic surgeon said, quote, "Christina may have the appearance of fuller cheeks due to increased volume from fillers such as Voluma or Restylane." Another said, "I believe that Christina's puffiness can be attributed to overfilled facial fillers like belly fill or Voluma. She probably tried to fill out any wrinkles and give her face some youthful fullness." Her lips are also fuller, most likely from lip fillers. In 2015, it was also reported that Christina got a nose job. One surgeon said that he believes her doctor used cartilage to rebuild her nose after her first nose job was botched.
At number 6, Justin Jedlicka. Justin Jedlicka, also known as the real-life Ken doll, got famous because he was on the show Botched and became a fan favorite, so obviously I had to include him in this list. Justin became famous because of his exaggerated looks because he made it his life's mission to become a real-life Ken doll. For him, the more plastic he looks, the better. Obviously, Justin wasn't born looking the way he does now, and if you look at old pictures of him, you can really see how drastically different he looks. Justin was on the show Botched very early on in the show's first season, making his debut in the series' first episode. He said that he's received about 1,000 surgeries to achieve the look that he has now, and there's no sign of stopping his transformation anytime soon. Justin said that he became obsessed with his appearance after growing up watching the show Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and recalling that everyone on that show had plastic surgery. To him, he believed that this lifestyle meant that you were successful, and so he's made it his mission to look like an unrecognizable plastic doll.
Halfway at number 5, Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson first gained fame through the Jackson 5 as a child, and as he grew up he started to look unrecognizable from his child self. At some point his appearance changed so much, it was clear that he was undergoing plastic surgery. Much of it was deemed botched by the general public. It's rumored that he underwent countless nose jobs as well as skin bleaching. However, Jackson claimed to have vitiligo, and that's why his skin lightened over time. When asked about his nose job, Jackson told Martin Bashir, quote, "I've had no plastic surgery on my face, just my nose. It helps me breathe better so I can hit higher notes. I've had 2 nose jobs as I can remember." However, many plastic surgeons speculate he had far more than 2 nose jobs and that he developed nasal cripples due to the lack of tissue to breathe through.
At number 4, Jamie Lee Curtis. You wouldn't really guess it, but at one point, Jamie Lee Curtis got plastic surgery and she ended up looking a little unrecognizable. The actress opened up about a procedure she had received before shooting a movie where she got the fat taken out from underneath her eyes because she said that she was looking a little puffy. Well, it turns out that she got a little botched and her looks weren't too great because when she got to set to start filming the movie, the cameraman actually said that he couldn't shoot her anymore because her face looked so different. Jamie recalled feeling super embarrassed because she had just changed her looks too much. She also said that she was unaware of the fact that when you take fat from one area of your body, it, quote, comes back in another place. Jamie took this botched experience as a learning moment and never tried a procedure like that again.
And at number 3, Ariel Winter. Ariel gained notoriety as a teen star acting on Modern Family. Since leaving the show, her look has gotten incredibly mature, and many think this isn't solely from genetics. On one Instagram post, fans were calling out Ariel for changing, saying that they liked how she looked before plastic surgery. Ariel was so offended by the comment that she actually responded to it, saying, quote, "I appreciate you wanting to help girls love themselves the way they are, but you're also kind of cutting someone, me, down, which isn't what I think you were trying to do. I also didn't get plastic surgery. That's also not being supportive of women if you're just assuming something about the way they look." She's been open about getting a breast reduction in 2015, but many think she is lying and had more procedures. It's also been speculated she receives lip filler along with getting a small nose job.
At number 2, Barry Manilow. Some celebrities aren't shy about the work they've had done, and others go to great lengths to hide it. One celebrity who has continuously denied their plastic surgery is singer Barry Manilow, because even though there's been a lot of proof to indicate he's had work done, and the fact that he looks unrecognizable after all of those procedures, he still claims to be all natural. In an interview, Barry claimed to have only undergone surgeries and treatments for his health, like getting hip surgery and receiving steroid shots, but judging by the way that he looks nowadays, a lot of people aren't buying that and have pretty much revealed that he's been lying about getting work done for cosmetic purposes. It's been reported that over the years, Barry has undergone several procedures, including having had 3 facelifts and eyelid surgery. There are even photos of Barry from 2003 showing him leaving the plastic surgeon's office in Beverly Hills. In the photos, he's seen wrapped up in bandages while wearing a disguise of sunglasses and a blonde wig in order to avoid being recognized. But we all know that it's him. He's not fooling anyone.
And finally at number 1, Celine Dion. In 2018, following the passing of her longtime husband, sources say that Celine tried to improve her look with cosmetic procedures, but the procedures were botched and she looked nothing like herself. The source said, quote, "She totally lost her looks and is unrecognizable. The word is she went under the knife to try and give herself a fresh start, but whatever she's done, it clearly hasn't turned out very well." One plastic surgeon who did not treat Celine, Dr. Dave David, noted the changes are so drastic he wouldn't recognize her if he saw her out. Quote, "She looks terrible, haggard, and homely. The doctor believes she had a nose job, fillers in her cheeks and under the eyes, Botox in her upper lip, and had her eyebrows thinned and lightened." And it's not a stretch to assume Celine had some procedures done, as she revealed in the past that she is open to receiving facial filler. In at number 10, Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer shocked fans in a recent Instagram photo where she previewed her look while playing First Lady Betty Ford. The look is for a new Showtime series called The First Lady. The look, based off Betty Ford, features a 70s style short hairstyle with subtle brown highlights. She captioned the photo, "First look the First Lady," then sharing a second photo with her co-stars Dakota Fanning and Aaron Eckhart. The comments under the post are shocked about the stunning transformation and can't wait to see Michelle on screen in the role. The series is an anthology series that will feature the stories of several First Ladies of the United States, including Michelle Obama and Eleanor Roosevelt. And at number 9, Tori Spelling. Tori Spelling debuted an unrecognizable look to her Instagram for Halloween. She captioned the photo, "Bathrooms make the best selfies," along with sharing a full body picture where she's wearing heavy makeup. She shared another photo with a close-up of her look where she looked unrecognizable. The makeup was a dark smoky eye and a deep red lipstick. Fans speculated that the seductive look is a sign that she is newly single, after reports surfaced that she was getting a divorce from longtime husband Dean McDermott. A source reportedly told Us Weekly last month that Spelling wants a divorce from her husband, quote, "but she feels trapped right now. Apparently she is miserable but stayed for the kids." And at number 8, Brian Austin Green. After being kicked off Dancing with the Stars, Brian Austin Green shocked his fans when he returned to watch the show in an insane costume that made him unrecognizable. Green returned with his girlfriend and dancing partner Sharna Burgess, who made a cameo for the Halloween episode. The pair were watching from the sidelines, but decided to get fully dressed up for the event. Sharna was a glamorous skeleton, and Brian wore a pinstriped suit and a gray wig with a full head of hair, and also held a paddleboard with the number 10 on it. Because of his wig, fans weren't sure who it was when they first saw Brian on screen. Brian and Sharna were eliminated from the show in their third week after receiving the lowest score from judges. And at number 7, AJ McLean. AJ McLean from the Backstreet Boys is known for his signature facial hair, but on October 27th the singer decided to make a huge change that shocked fans. He revealed in an Instagram post that he is clean shaven for the first time in decades, and he looks totally unrecognizable without facial hair. The caption read, "Had to be done, don't worry y'all. It will return in a month." He didn't give more context on why he decided to shave, but since he put a timeline, I would assume it's for a project. Shocked fans flooded the comments to share their thoughts. One said, "Tell me why," referencing the hit song. Another said, "If I see you on the streets, I won't recognize you." And at number 6, Jessica Simpson. Throughout her career, Jessica Simpson has changed a lot, at some points looking unrecognizable from her former self. Many credited the change in her appearance to simple weight gain, but others even speculated that she got cosmetic work done. But she actually exposed the truth on her Instagram, revealing she was suffering with alcoholism that caused a dramatic change in her appearance. In the long Instagram caption, she describes how she looked unrecognizable during her battle with alcoholism. In the photo, her face looks incredibly puffy and inflamed. She explained the photo was from 2017 at the height of her addiction, saying in part, quote, "This person in the early morning of November 1st, 2017 is an unrecognizable version of myself. I had so much self-discovery to unlock and explore." However, she got sober shortly after that photo and is dealing with her trauma in healthy ways. Halfway number 5, Reese Witherspoon. InStyle decided to feature Reese Witherspoon on one of their most recent covers, and fans were shocked to see just how different Reese looked in the photos. Some say she looked 20 years younger, while others said she looked like singer Maren Morris. The magazine was actually criticized by fans for the blatant Photoshop. One Instagram user said, quote, "You look beautiful, but you didn't need the Photoshop. The best part of you is how you are fabulous at any age, and you just keep getting better." Another user commented, "You look gorgeous, but this cover has too much Photoshop. Absolutely no need for that." But the magazine's editor decided to clap back at these claims and said that there was minimal Photoshopping. The magic was apparently all in the hair and makeup. Reese also proudly displayed the cover photo on her Instagram. And at number 4, Dove Cameron. Disney actress Dove Cameron is known for her signature bleach blonde hair that she's had basically her entire career. But on November 6th, she decided to shake things up and go brunette for the first time in years. She revealed the look on a red carpet for the 2021 LACMA Art and Film Gala presented by Gucci. She told Birdie in 2020 that she had grown out her roots about 6 inches and was happy that her hair was healthy without all the bleaching she would usually do. We're not sure if her hair was recently dyed or not because she posted a story in March with the new look, but then went back to blonde at an event. But there's a chance she liked the look of her roots so much that she decided to go fully brunette. In at number 3, Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman recently shared an incredible throwback photo where he looks nothing like himself. In the photo, he's preparing for his role in Wolverine and getting in top shape. In the photo, he's seen lifting up about 4 huge weights, and by his facial expression, we know it's a ton of weight. He looked so different in the photo that fans didn't even realize it was him. He had a bulky frame and looked in pain while lifting the weights. Hugh captioned the post, quote, "Is it just me or does this guy look like he's in serious pain?" Fans were shocked over the picture, but they praised the actor for his dedication to his roles. One comment read, quote, "This is just one fraction of the equation that makes a beast." Fans also hoped this was a hint that the Wolverine was returning soon. In at number 2, Lily Collins. Lily Collins generally sports brunette flowy hair, but she recently decided to make a big change and she looks completely different. For her LUK cover shoot, she sported a bleach blonde pixie cut, a shocking difference from what we're used to. She even took a photo with the stylist that changed up her entire look. In the caption to the photo, she said, quote, "Change things up for December/January issue of LUK." Since posting these photos, she's posted other ones with her classic brown hair, so the jury is still out on whether this change is permanent or if it was just a temporary wig. And finally, number 1, Bad Baby. Danielle Bregoli aka Bad Baby shocked fans in a TikTok video where she looked unrecognizable. In the video, Bregoli mouths along to an audio called Golly G. The video quickly went viral and comments flooded in asking about her new appearance. Some of the comments read, quote, "She doesn't even look like the same person that she used to." Another said, "I didn't recognize who this was at first." Many of the comments also claimed she looked like Cardi B or Nikita Dragon. Danielle responded to the comment in an Instagram video where she claimed the entire TikTok was just a test for her fans, and it seems that her fans have failed the test. Apparently in the TikTok she used a wig with no curl, along with makeup that was lighter than her skin tone and no contouring, all to see if people would comment about her appearance, which they did. Danielle then said that the public just wants to hate and wants a famous person to respond to them. It has nothing to do with the way Danielle looks, but it seems people were mostly confused about her response. In at number 10, Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell looked completely unrecognizable in the new Batman trailer where he's playing the Penguin. The 2022 version of the classic story is starring Robert Pattinson as Batman and Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. In Farrell's version of the Penguin, he looks somewhat like a mafia boss. This is different than what we know from the comics, where the Penguin is seen with a top hat, a monocle, and a fancy 3-piece suit. Farrell is clearly wearing heavy prosthetics that change the entire shape and structure of his face, along with making him much heavier than his usual self. Farrell also looks much different than Danny DeVito's 1992 version of the character. In that one, DeVito looks straight out of a Tim Burton movie. And at number 9, Christopher Hivju. The Game of Thrones actor recently joined the show The Witcher for its 2nd season, and he looks drastically different from his work as Tormund. We got a sneak peek of his character on Henry Cavill's Instagram. Henry is the main character on The Witcher. He wrote, quote, "The amazing, the wonderful, the electric, enigmatic Christopher Hivju." Christopher was extraordinarily brave for season 2 of The Witcher and decided to play his character Nivellen with zero makeup or visual effects, as you can see above. In the photo we see heavy prosthetics along with Christopher even wearing horns around his mouth. So clearly Henry Cavill was being sarcastic in his post. And at number 8, Megan Fox. Megan Fox shocked followers when she ditched her famous brown hair and bleached it a silver blonde. The caption on the photo read, quote, "This is what the devil's daughter looks like," then shouting out her new role in the movie Johnny and Clyde. Fox will star alongside Preacher's Tyson Ritter. Fox is set to portray Alana, crime boss who runs a prosperous casino per Deadline. And apparently this film is incredibly scary, with insiders calling it a spooky supernatural slasher. Co-writer and director Tom DeNucci said Alana will be, quote, "a very dark character and that her look is meant to reflect that." DeNucci continued, quote, "I don't want to give away too much, but visually we wanted her to almost be like a Disney princess, but a messed up, very dark, twisted version of that. Her look is just incredible, this kind of almost evil princess character." And at number 7, Matthew Perry. Matthew Perry had worried fans in new paparazzi photos taken of the actor. In the photos he was picking up a coffee at Starbucks, but eyewitnesses say he was chain smoking the whole time, and he looked unkempt and disheveled. Others say he was also out of breath while walking to grab the drink. Concerns about Perry's health started after the Friends reunion aired, where Perry was slurring his words along with nodding off during an interview. Many fans shared their concern for him in the comments of that video. One read, quote, "I hope he gets better soon. I don't know how I'm going to enjoy the reunion when Matthew is this sad." In at number 6, Renee Zellweger. Renee Zellweger was just seen out filming for her new role as convicted killer Pam Hupp, and she looked unrecognizable. Most notably, Renee was significantly heavier than her typical small frame. This was due to a fat suit she was wearing that made her look more similar to Hupp. Zellweger also appeared to have a prosthetic nose to further the transformation. The project is NBC crime series called The Thing About Pam. Pam Hupp was convicted of killing Louis Gumpenberger. She has also been accused of killing other people but not convicted for any other crimes. This fat suit has actually been controversial, but it's assumed that Zellweger took this route instead of gaining weight like she did for her past role playing Bridget Jones, where she put on a lot of weight for the role and took a toll on her mental health. Halfway number 5, Hailee Steinfeld. The Met Gala is usually a place where stars dress incredibly different from their usual selves, but Hailee shocked the world when she came looking entirely different than we'd ever seen her before. I actually had to do a double take to make sure it was even her. At the event, she ditched her signature brown hair for a silvery white bob. Her makeup also completed the look, elevating the white and silvery nature of the Iris Van Herpen outfit she was wearing at the event. We've seen Hailee at the event a few times before, but never looking like this. Although the look was totally epic, she went back to her classic brown hair right after. And at number 4, Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman has completely transformed into Lucille Ball for the new movie based on her life called Being the Ricardos. The film will follow Lucille and Desi during a whirlwind week at filming I Love Lucy, with the story unfolding during a Monday table read until it wraps up with a Friday TV shoot in front of a live audience. Not only has Kidman nailed her look, insiders say that Kidman sounds identical to Ball as well and has nailed her signature voice. One of Lucille's children even praised the film, saying that Nicole Kidman did a spectacular job in the role. And at number 3, Ariana Grande. When you think of Ariana Grande, her signature ponytail is probably the first thing that pops into mind, but Ariana is looking entirely different from her former self in the new promo material for The Voice. Ariana is the show's newest judge, and she's taken on an entirely new aesthetic. In the promo materials, fans shared that they didn't even realize it was Ariana. She's wearing less makeup, her skin is less tanned, and her hair is short and down instead of in a ponytail. One author even joked that she looks like a quote, married white woman, following her marriage to Dalton Gomez. Another said the lack of makeup might be the reason for her new look. They wrote, quote, "Is it just because she's not wearing dark makeup or does she have an entirely different face?" And at number 2, Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato has been going through a lot of changes recently, some physically and others mentally. After Demi revealed that they prefer they-them pronouns, Demi has changed their style considerably. Demi used to be known for their long black hair, but recently they chopped it into a mullet-like hairstyle. At one point, Demi was even rocking a hairstyle that looked almost identical to the Kardashian matriarch Kris Jenner. Fans are even posting side-by-side photos of them compared, and it's crazy how similar these hairstyles are. But that's not all. Demi has also been open about their new fascination with UFOs. They're even creating a new show around the topic and potentially having interactions with UFOs. And finally, at number 1, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon looks nothing like the man we've seen before on the big screen, and he shocked his fans when he uploaded a picture showing his face looking bloated and puffy. He was also clean shaven in the photo. It's clear the change is due to prosthetics, as he was looking slim the last time he was seen out before this photo. And Kevin's actually not a stranger to changing himself for roles. He's transformed many times before in his advertisements for mobile network operator EE. One fan even commented on the photo saying Kevin's new look is most likely for the same commercial. Another fan joked that he needed to cut down on the bacon.
Number 10, Zac Efron. Zachary David Alexander Efron rose to Disney fame when he starred as Troy Bolton in the classic High School Musical movies. He played the basketball player turned theater kid, and for some reason, that's a big deal to everyone. I don't get it. He was a theater kid. I've literally had 2 basketball players pretend to be a seesaw and hoist me into the air during a show. Bless their hearts, I was and still am pretty heavy for that kind of shenanigans. He went on to have an extremely successful career, and while the films haven't always been the most lucrative, Zac himself has been a consistently solid performer, from Charlie St. Cloud to his most recent movie Gold and his upcoming movie Iron Claw. One thing that hasn't been consistent though is his face. In 2013, Zac was running through his house when he slipped in his socks and hit his chin on a granite fountain. Hey, we've all been there. According to Zac, his chin bone was hanging off face and he had to have his mouth wired shut and had been undergoing physical therapy right up until 2019. Many fans noticed Zac's face getting a little bit puffy recently, not really in like a bad way, just in a way that made him look a a little more unrecognizable compared to his High School Musical days. He addressed rumors of him undergoing surgery and explained that it was the result of breaking one of the original rules of parenthood: don't run in the house. Most recently, he changed up his look for his role in the highly anticipated biopic The Iron Claw, set to release very soon. For this role, Efron bulked up significantly, now making the rest of him look like he was stung by a hornet, and is sporting a haircut reminiscent of Friar Tuck in Robin Hood. Hopefully the movie will be so good it's worth that haircut. Very excited to see it, it looks so good. Number 9, Moises Arias. A former Hannah Montana star, Moises is probably best known as the youngest entrepreneur and biggest troublemaker on the beach, Rico. His character on the show was always getting sucked into the family's problems. He delivered some iconic moments that are most of the reason that show still holds up to this day. There is a good chance that you have seen this man in recent Hollywood flicks, but you probably just didn't realize who was. Since leaving the Disney World behind, Arias has been a part of several indie films that received stellar reviews, like the coming-of-age story Kings of Summer, where he played Biagio. Most recently, though, he starred alongside SNL alumni Pete Davidson in a film based on the comedian's early life called King of Staten Island, sporting a goatee and tattoos everywhere. It must be in Moises' contract that he exclusively works in films with King in the title, because he's one himself. Number 8, Amanda Bynes. Amanda got her lucky break on the Nickelodeon sketch series All That, which was just Saturday Night Live for kids, and it sported a stellar cast, including current SNL cast member Kenan Thompson, Drake Bell, and Lori Beth Denberg. Eventually, the producers decided to offer Amanda her own show, and her success only grew from there. The Amanda Bynes Show was one of the best Nickelodeon shows ever, and she was picked up by several studios to star in non-Nickelodeon projects like She's the Man and Easy A. Amanda took a hiatus, however, in 2013 following a very public mental breakdown. In 2018, she told fans exactly what caused it, and according to Amanda, she became addicted to the devil's lettuce at a young age. And while it wasn't an addiction at first, with more roles came more pressure and a need to find a new way to cope. This eventually led her to more drastic substances. She also believed that she wasn't pretty enough anymore to be in films, even taking Adderall as a way to help her stay skinny. In 2013, Amanda posted a series of bizarre tweets where she seemed to be insulting everyone that she could think of. She called the former president, Barack Obama, ugly, clearly referencing a character from The Amanda Show, but still, no he's not. She was arrested and placed under psychiatric hold as she was accused of several hit-and-run incidents and was officially charged with reckless endangerment and criminal possession of herbs and spices. Her parents then placed her under a conservatorship till 2022 when she stood in front of a judge. Now she is healthier and better than ever and ready to move on with her life. The judge said, "Alright, Amanda is free to live. Good luck, Amanda." There is a million kids who grew up with her, so I hope she's doing great and we've all got her back. Number 7, Macaulay Culkin. Culkin broke our hearts when he made his first on-screen appearance as little Thomas in the movie My Girl, and he continued to entertain us over the next few years, being a part of movies like Home Alone and Richie Rich, some of my childhood favorites. His career seemed to be on an upward climb, ensuring that he would have work well into his adult years, but it turns out life had other plans for Macaulay. Between the years of 2013 to 2019, Culkin had remained fairly reserved in the Hollywood eye, appearing only in low-budget passion projects or straight-to-video film. It might have been because the once young and fresh Culkin was now in his early 20s and he wasn't playing by the rules. A mugshot of Culkin made headlines in 2004 when he was arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription following a routine inspection of his car. Rumors of Culkin's substance issues arose as the actor was later seen appearing frail, like he hadn't eaten weeks, and many were concerned for Culkin's health, but he later revealed in an interview in 2021 that he had finally gotten a hold of his issues and he was on track to recovery. In fact, just a few weeks ago, he celebrated a milestone in both his personal life and Hollywood career because he got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and was honored by Catherine O'Hara, who played his mom in Home Alone, and of course his wife, Brenda Song, aka London Tipton, and their son. Number 6, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay is a Disney star who actually never appeared in a sitcom or TV show. She just went straight to the movies, baby. She starred in over 60 TV spots and commercials for brands like Gap, Pizza Hut, and Jell-O before she got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family movie The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James. They randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. It's such a good movie. The twins hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together. It's delightful. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and of course Mean Girls as Katie Heron. Unfortunately, her career took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she only served 84 minutes in jail. Because she's Lindsay Lohan, let's give her less than 2 hours, that makes sense. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and Lindsay decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and that Lindsay Lohan we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone and makeup. Number 5, Madonna. Madonna has surely gotten stuck in your head before, with classic hits like Material Girls and Crazy for You still being played at dance clubs worldwide. What may have also gotten stuck in your head was just how gorgeous this woman was. In the 80s, Madonna was well known for her stylish duds and big blonde hair, at times almost channeling Marilyn Monroe energy. It was unfortunate then that Madonna felt the need to fall into the world of plastic surgery and injections as she got older. Photo comparisons from the 80s to now showcase the major changes, with her forehead appearing to be pushed out, as well as her cheeks and her lips being filled with enough Botox to give her the appearance of someone wearing a silicone mask of Madonna over their own face. We can only imagine what she may have looked like had she not undergone any surgery. Would she still be a material girl, or would that material be ridden with coffee stains and moth holes? Who knows? Number 4, Cher. Ever since rising to fame in the 1960s and 70s, Cher has been absolutely slaying it in the world of pop music, rocking her own solo career and collaborating with several musicians over the years. Her style and voice will definitely not be a stranger to you, unless of course you've seen her lately. Now, do not get me wrong, Cher is absolutely stunning and has put in a lot of work to stay healthy and happy in her personal life, but over the years she has been open about the numerous amounts of surgeries that she's had to have done, including lip fillers and receiving Botox in her cheeks, leaving her in a constant state of, oh that's nice. Despite having a negative experience with her surgeries, reportedly even receiving a certain augmentation that went horribly wrong, she still continues to undergo procedures to this day. For all we know, she could be doing it right now. Number 3, David Krumholtz. David's face may be familiar to many people because he was Bernard the Elf from the Santa Claus franchise. David has been acting for a long time, making appearances over the years in shows like Freaks and Geeks and Mom, but he's also familiar to many people for his more raunchy performances in movies like Harold and Kumar, as well as several collaborations with Seth Rogen. In his youth, Krumholtz was often typecasted as the young, squishy-faced good guy with a little bit of a bad boy streak. Unfortunately, as time went on, the actor appeared to be struggling with his weight, appearing to gain and lose weight rapidly. For example, in the HBO series The Deuce, David plays a character named Harvey Wasserman, who in season 1 weighed around 300 pounds, but in season 2, he barely weighed 100. This constant back and forth shift cannot be healthy, and it seems like in recent photos, it has been taking a toll on The Deuce. Number 2, Shia LaBeouf. Shia has been a controversial celebrity over the years, becoming famous as one of the hardest people to work with in Hollywood history. Like many bad apples in LA, Shia got his start on the Disney Channel. At the turn of the century, Disney released a little show called The Even Stevens. The series followed the titular Stevens family with a focus on the kids Ren and Louis, played by Christy Romano and Shia LaBeouf. The show is considered to be one of Disney's best. It spanned over 3 seasons and spawned an Even Stevens movie that, I'm not exaggerating, is one of the greatest pieces of cinema ever released. Go check it out. These days, Shia has adopted a more mountain man look. He always sprouts a big bushy beard when he can, and he went from bright and youthful to just tired and annoyed. Hey man, we get that. Following the show's end, Shia kept his acting career going strong, appearing in movies like Holes as the main character Stanley Yelnats, but it wasn't until his casting in Transformers that things started to go downhill. Since 2007, Shia's behavior as an actor and a person has been getting worse and worse. His fellow actors have reported that he takes method acting too far. For instance, in the film Fury, he was a soldier trapped inside a military tank with his crew. The film was set in Germany in April of 1945. Of course, they didn't have access to plumbing or any kind of bathrooms really at that time, so Shia decided not to bathe for the entire time they were on set. 3 months, fellow cast had to sit in a cramped tank with this man smelling nothing but Shia. Number 1, Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer made his name a staple when he starred in the beloved classic fantasy film Willow as Mad Mardigan, a swordsman who spends the movie protecting the titular baby from evil forces. Now, personally, he made a staple in my head being the Batman that beat up Jim Carrey, but that's a whole other thing. Over the years, Kilmer has aged gracefully, being the leading man type over and over again, seemingly casted because of his looks over his acting chops, with a lot of people consider him to be stiff. Well, a lot like people like Mickey Rourke, Kilmer's roles began to shift from leading strong type to the dark and silent bad guy. I mean, just look at his headshots. He looks like an evil scientist trying to invite you into his mansion to show you his collection of animal skulls.